Welcome to the Movie Draft Podcast. I'm Ethan Simi, and today I am joined by three wonderful guests. First up is Des.
Hello.
Next up is Gooch.
Reporting to you live from Zoran's, New York City. Let's go.
Woo!
Let's go. And finally, brother Danny Jarabek.
Not sure how I feel about the nickname coming from Ethan. Copyrighted by Des, actually. So you actually now owe her royalties.
Yeah. I will Venmo her a penny later, definitely. And today we are drafting movies for the Theatrical Re-Release Wishlist Draft in a regular style draft. It is a little bit of a mouthful, but this is going to be a fun pod because ultimately at the end of the day, I have no idea what the strategy is going to be in amassing a team. And it is kind of just a vibes draft of movies that you want to see on a big screen. And I think that sounds pretty fun. Des, welcome back to the pod. We are recording this episode before two previous episodes that you're going to be on. So we're doing a little bit of like time jumping here for listeners, a little behind the scenes. So I don't know how those pods go. I'm sure they're a great time, but welcome back now.
Oh my God, thank you. I'm so happy to be here. As always, never not happy.
Okay. That sounded really authentic and completely heartfelt. And that is
100%.
really just, I'm getting emotional understanding the gravitas of what you just said. Gooch, you actually haven't been on for a while. The last time that you were on this pod was for the Brad Pitt auction draft, episode 78. We are now in episode 101. You fucking swindled me. I distinctly remember this in the last pick of the Brad Pitt auction draft, but we both lost because Ben won. You got me to bid on F1. Remember? I was like, oh yeah, F1, and then I got screwed.
It's the movie of the year. Everyone's been saying it. Like, the Oscar nom is a lock.
It is, though. That's the thing, Gooch. It is.
Noms? Will this be out by Oscar nom time? I love how you also, before we started recording, you're like, yeah, this won't be coming out for a while. And I decided to make the most timely reference I possibly could.
A very specifically timed reference.
Yeah. I don't think this will be out by the time that we have a short list for categories for the Academy Awards. I could be wrong, but who's to say?
It's what can you win a Brad Pitt draft? Like, do you actually win when you win that?
That's the real question. You know, that is a draft I actually haven't really thought about since it happened. So I guess your short answer would be like, no, not really. I actually don't remember. So yeah, that's what it was. So I remember losing F1. And then you ended up taking Babylon, and that I just essentially wanted the pod to end right then and there, forever and always. Danny, you're back. Hi, similar to Des, we're recording this episode before we record a prior episode, the Noah Baumbach collaborative draft. And I will just say about that, we'll probably talk about it on the episode, I'm sure. I tried really hard to get you and Cam, who is going to be the guest, kind of the trifecta of that pod, to reschedule the recording of that so I could go into that draft having seen Jay Kelly. And I was literally throwing out so many dates and times. And after an entire day of texting, it was basically just like, yeah, we shouldn't move this. I think Ethan just is not going to see Jay Kelly before we do this collaborative draft. So I, again, like, as Gooch is doing here, I'm making a very timely reference to how I feel right now, even though the pod is already going to exist. And I'm mad at you right now.
We're doing a little bit of Back to the Future.
Yeah, we are.
Rationalizing right now.
Yeah, for sure. You feel good about that decision to not allow me to see Noah Baumbach's latest feature film in doing a collaborative draft that ties directly into that feature film?
Listen, I can't control the narrative of scheduling, and unfortunately, we had a date set. We all agreed upon a date,
Okay.
and that was in the
calendar. And then
calendar.
Netflix was like, let's do a 35mm run of Jay Kelly after the fact. I guess we can blame Netflix. No surprise. Speaking of
I'm good with that.
Theatrical releases, or lack thereof, which is the point of the draft today. Des, I'll start with you. The theatrical experience, imperative for moviegoing. I think all of us here can agree on that. Is a very key, fundamental understanding of what makes movies. Can you give me your pitch as to why going to a movie theater is so important to the moviegoing experience?
Because it rocks. Simple as that.
Yeah.
But
It's good.
I think it provides a whole different experience than what you get from watching it at home, watching it on like a little DVD player. But honestly, anywhere provides a different experience, even if you did like a drive-in theater. That's so different from seeing it in a theater by yourself, in a theater with, a bunch of other people that are on their phones and taking their shoes off. I think that seeing it in a theater provides a different experience because you can feed off of like everyone else's energy. And I'm sure you don't have the same sound system at home. I don't know about you guys. I do not have an IMAX ready screen in my home.
You don't?
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah, that's crazy because I know we all do. We are the boys of IMAX over here. So
sorry, I'm not one of the boys of IMAX.
I'd rather be on Den's side. After you said that,
Whoa!
I'd rather be out of that club. That feels
Okay,
problematic in my eyes.
That's crazy switching just right off the whatever.
Okay, ally. But I don't know. I feel like there's so many moments where I can think back about watching a movie and I'm remembering seeing it in a theater or going to the theater rather than that experience of watching it at home. It doesn't go like I can say confidently, I can still watch movies at home and still love them and still, really like take them in. But in terms of the experience of watching a movie and not just the movie itself, it all goes back to a movie theater.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Gooch, what about you? Movie theater experiences and what they mean.
Yeah, it's I've always said a movie's like a hot dog. Like, so watching a movie in a theater, that's like a hot dog at a ballpark. That's an experience. That's a beautiful thing. Like, that is a beautiful thing. A movie at home, that's a microwave. That's a microwave hot dog. Like, that's just sustenance. It's the same ingredients, but it doesn't hit the same at all. It's ugly. So yeah, I mean, you really cannot compare it. I truly believe that.
I think that is a very apt comparison. I've never heard it put that way, but that has forever changed my outlook on the theatrical experience. And quite honestly, maybe a lot of things I do in the future of like, is this an experience or is this just like, is this just like food kind of a thing? You know what I mean? Like the kind of differentiating there. Danny, what about you? Theatrical experiences and their importance.
Well, first of all, I had no idea where he was going after he said a movie is like a hot dog. I was an empty canvas to receive whatever that analogy had coming. And it took a while. Like, it didn't settle into place for me, but it eventually came around. And now I'm kind of on board. I don't have any hot dog or food related analogies to present here. But yeah, I mean, seeing a movie in theater for all the reasons that have already been laid out is important. And I think it's important. My other, I think, note that I would add to it, or layer that I would add to it, is it's important to movie making being alive. If people don't participate in the cultural setting of sharing a community together in a dark room, all experiencing something together, I think that's what movies were born on. And if we lose that, we kind of lose the heartbeat of what this is that we all love.
Speaking of a theatrical experience and the heartbeat of the thing that we love, I agree, obviously, with everything that was said here. I think my general pitch is there's nothing quite like going into a singular space with 10, 20, 250 complete strangers and sitting in a dark room and consuming the same exact thing. And then having that happen to your life. Like I distinctly, very much like you said, Daz, I have so many distinct memories of seeing a movie in a theater and the stranger that I sat by and ended up talking to, what we ended up talking about, whether movie related or not, where I sat in that theater, my experience with that theater, who I was with, what I ate, those kinds of things. The movies that I actually have had a hot dog at, speaking of Gooch, when I am just in the depths after watching Shelby Oaks and I have to gear back up for Springsteen, that's a Regal hot dog calling my name. So there are these memories associated. They do. They do. They okay, good. I'm glad that we can agree on that. I think, there's a couple things that I wanted to say here. I know we're recording early, so by the time that this comes out, the news here might have a finality to it. We might have a decision. We might know more, obviously, than we know right now. But we are recording at a time in which news is breaking every single day about Warner Bros. And the bid from Paramount and Netflix both to buy Warner Brothers, to either split a sale for Netflix to take them on, for Paramount to take them on, and what that looks like from a commercial standpoint. And the reason I bring this up is because when Warner Brothers inevitably sells, it is essentially a huge wooden stake in the heart of the theatrical business. Because Warner Brothers, speaking of theatrical business, the only distributor this year to, I think, have, 7 movies in a row across $40 million opening weekend? Like, they're setting some insane box office records. They're giving us movies like One Battle After Another and Sinners in theaters, and that's important. So we're kind of recording this at a very imperative time to what is going on theatrically. Now, I am curious from you guys, because I experienced this last night, and so I kind of want to get your guys' take. Famously, on 24 Minutes of A24, Ben would come on a pretty weekly basis and say, like, this new movie that I went to go see, terrible theatrical experience. These people were talking. These people were on their phone, et cetera, et cetera. And I know that this is not uncommon for people going to theaters. I will give you my quick example, and I'm curious where you guys stand on this. Last night, I went to go see Predator Badlands at a press screening, and I was in the designated press section where people there are there to see the movie. The person in front of me, about 3 minutes into this movie, still on their phone, full brightness. And so I tapped them on the shoulder and I said, hey, the movie's on. Please turn that off. And they thankfully said, okay. And then they turned it off. And that was great. And that was the end of that. Never came back out again. I've had interactions that have not gone that way. Are you guys pro kind of maintaining the theatrical experience vibe holy place? Or do you guys just kind of let it slide?
I'm saying something. I'm getting up. I'm walking over. I don't care.
Good.
I've told the child to get off that Nintendo DS Switch because I'm watching Captain Marvel. I've told this grown man behind me as I'm watching Bullet Train. I turned around, I said, get off your phone. Because he was on a phone call. Not happening.
That's psychotic.
I'm not dealing with that shit. I come to this place for magic. Okay. And the magic does not involve you being on your phone, tweeting about being at the movie. Supposed to do that beforehand during the 30 minutes of previews and ads. Okay. It's not my fault you were running late or that your snacks weren't prepared on time. But it's not fair to everyone else. I think everyone forgets that it's a communal space and it's not just you. If you want to be on your phone, you got to sit all the way in the back, in the corner, and you stay over there because that's the place where you do that shit.
Yeah.
But I'm saying something every time. I do not care. It doesn't faze me.
This is great. I want Danny and Gooch's, and then I want to tell one more story because I never get to tell these stories, and this is really fun. This is a great little venting experience for all of us. Gooch, are you pro addressing the situation?
Say something. And also another thing that has become like way too normalized recently is people try to rationalize the pulling the phone out really quick and taking a few pictures. Like, I get your argument. Like, it does take 3 seconds, but if everyone in that theater thinks it's okay to do that, and you get 100 to 200 people in the theater, that means every 30 seconds, someone's gonna be pulling their fucking phone out to take a goddamn picture. I don't need that in my life. Where you just got to take a hard line against the phones. Like, you have to put your foot down on this. Like, don't let anything slide. Don't let anyone tell you anything differently.
Yeah. Give them an inch, they'll take a mile, I think is a great analogy here. Danny, I don't buck the trend, man. You better be piping up in the theater.
I'm clearly the most non-confrontational of your
I know, that's
today.
why I'm nervous.
I've never had a bad enough experience, I think, with it that I felt like I or I wasn't close enough where like I could see someone in the distance doing it, but it like didn't feel like a personal responsibility because I would have to like really disturb a lot of people to get there to begin with. without just like yelling across the room. I know people have had experiences with like people right next to them. And, you know, probably in that scenario, I think I would be more apt to do so. But I don't know if I've actually had that exact experience. I will tell a really quick, brief story though, and Des, you'll laugh at this because you've probably gone to the same theater in Philadelphia. But I had an experience in a Philly theater one time where the two guy on my right talking loud during the Mad Max prequel, whatever it was called.
The Mad Max Furiosa, one of the greatest movies of the 21st century. Don't even get me started, Danny. God damn it, that's so crazy.
This guy's yelling out like he's yelling out like the names of the actors as he recognizing them like loudly, like very aggressively. And guy on my left starts like getting really frustrated. I can see him like looking over.
Oh, you're in the middle of these people.
In the middle of the situation. and it gets bad to a point where he keeps talking. He's clearly like talking as loud as I'm talking right now.
That's crazy.
Guy on my left leans over and just goes, "Hey man, shut the hell up." Guy on my right goes, "Who the fuck do you think you're talking to?" They start screaming at each other, and I'm literally thinking that I'm gonna be in the middle of a fist fight. Like this was insane. It was the craziest thing I've ever happened to me in a movie theater. That's all to say, theater decorum and just general decorum in public is absolutely down the toilet. And social media and phones have a lot to do with that. And so, preserve the theatrical experience. Let people enjoy the public space. Let people enjoy the community of watching a theater the way it's meant to be treated. And then we can all move on with our days. It's literally 2 hours. It is 2 hours of your day. And if you want to be on your phone, why are you not just watching a movie at home?
Yep. Couldn't agree more. I think Des said it really well of this communal space, this idea of a social contract. When you enter the doors of a theater, you sign a social contract that says we're all here to do the same thing and focus on that one thing. And I hold that very near and dear. I know all of you hold that very near and dear. The last point that I wanted to make on this before we get into the logistics and the categories of what we're doing here today is not quite as bad as Danny, but I went to go see One Battle After Another at a press screening, and there were these two women next to me, and PTA, very sexually provocative filmmaker, I think you could say, especially with the opening sequences of One Battle After Another, and maybe the state of sex in cinema now and how people view sex in media. Pretty consistently, there's a moment, and if you haven't seen One Battle After Another yet, I don't fucking care. It's not a spoiler, and you should have seen it by now. Alana Haim kisses pretty profusely someone in her car, and before she goes and basically gets ready to blow up a bank. And every moment leading up until that moment, they had remarked on every single sexual advance that occurs in this movie. Everything going on with Lockjaw, everything going on with Perfidia, like they were maybe watching Love Island. And I was getting more and more frustrated as this was going on, because this is obviously the state of PTA movies. This is not new to One Battle After Another. And they finally got to that point with Alana Haim, and they literally made a noise so loud that I leaned over to them and I was like, you have to stop doing this every time somebody kisses. And they looked at me, and for the remainder of the film, at least until they left early, which noted is psychotic behavior, especially for that movie. But the remainder of the film, every single time I chuckled at a scene, I caught a death glare from both of them. And I don't regret a single thing, but it made me very uncomfortable. And honestly, that was a great movie to stick up for, because that type of behavior is quite ridiculous.
Do you think it's just something to do with like being in the dark, and people think that there's less of an integrity principle because you can't be seen committing an act of treason against the social contract of being quiet and calm?
God, anything's possible.
I have perfect vision. Nothing is getting by me, I fear. But something.
You bring your night vision goggles to the theater, Des, so you can scout people like this?
Is the theater not kind
looking
of
around
lit
the
from
cinema?
The screen? but yeah, I mean, I'm very aware of my surroundings. I'm sorry that I have
course.
spatial awareness.
Yeah, of course.
But something similar to that, it was Clara and I went to go see The Watchers, and
Okay.
there were these two teenagers. Like we were like in the middle of the theater, and two teenagers all the way at the top would not shut the fuck up. Just would not shut up. Just it was the whole entire room overstimulating. Claire was not going to get up and say anything. Got to bring in the big dogs. I get up and I go backwards. I walk up to them and I say,
Yeah, that's
you
hardcore.
have to you have to stop talking. I can hear you down there. You actually have to stop. And they're like, yeah, sorry about that. And then when they actually did stop, which was thank you. I really appreciate that because I would have went back up. On the way out, they stopped at the bottom, turned, and like Paddington hard stared me. And I'm like, you can't scare me. You're a teenager. I don't know what that's about. Get out of here, bud. But
I am really glad that
kids.
I'm really glad that we took this time to air our grievances and try to determine whether the theatrical experience in the theater in particular is a sanctum of social contract and holy ground or a WWE Rumble ring. So I don't know. We'll see what happens next time.
I do have one amendment. I think
Please.
if you're like a really old couple, you're allowed to talk. You're allowed.
Oh, I think that's. I think that's.
You
okay.
know what? Yes. No. Actually,
I think that's
do
fair.
agree.
That's
Yeah.
actually
Something
really
about-
valid. It's because every time I
something
hear
about
it,
it.
it's so wholesome. Like
Yeah.
They're just like.
But
every
what
time
is
it's like,
what
did they
constitutes
say?
as old
Like,
though? Like, what's our age barrier here, Gooch? Are we like
You got to be
65 and above?
gray and wrinkly.
Gray and
yeah.
wrinkly. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
If
That's
that
good.
person can walk up to the ticket attendant and automatically get the senior discount without showing an ID,
That applies.
we're working with
I think
something.
it's good.
It's a really good threshold.
Yeah, it's good threshold. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. We've done really good work so far right now, determining all of this information. Let's keep the good work going for the theatrical re-release wishlist draft that we're about to embark on. The stipulations for this draft, the movie needs to exist. That's pretty much all that needs to happen here. It needs to be a real movie that could, in theory, play in a theater. I know that there are going to be logistical complaints and qualms and quandaries about this very broad, easy to follow rule, but that's okay. We'll get there when we get there. Anything's possible. I will list the 6 categories here, and then I want to talk strategy just for a minute before we spin for positions. Categories: 1980s, 1990s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s, and wild card. Important to note with wildcard, it does not have to stop at 1980s. It could be pre-1980s. It could be anything that you want it to be, if you so choose that. Let's talk strategy. This is a big, broad pool of every single movie ever. What's the strategy here? You're trying to put together a cool team of like cool movies that you'd want to see in theaters. Like, what are you going for on your squads here?
I'm going for anything that will personally affect you. That will be like, oh, damn, why didn't I actually grab that one first?
That's cool. Yeah, I'm sure that'll pan out well for you. That's real deranged behavior, but that's okay. Cool.
Yeah, I tried to find the movies inside like my letterbox that I have never seen in theaters. That was like my main criteria.
Oh, nice.
Now that's not all of the movies on my list, but most of them. Most of them are like movies where I'm like, I didn't get to see this in theaters. This has never been re-released near me. Like that was my criteria.
I like that criteria. That's a good one. Danny, strategy? Just not going to share?
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like this is the one draft that we probably can openly share strategy and still have a very low likelihood of overlapping on something. I'm going to really laugh if something is taken that genuinely upsets someone, because the criteria is infinite movies. There is
Anything out there.
nothing stopping you from taking something else. So that is one curiosity I have going into this. I think a little bit of Gooch's strategy applies in terms of, I was definitely thinking about some movies that in terms of event or spectacle, feel like something that I would want to experience somehow. And I've done a lot more in recent years of going to rep screenings and getting a chance to see, because I have a really good local theater that does a lot of that. Trying to use those opportunities and fill blind spots, honestly, of movies that I've seen. So I think my pending list, and I might just adapt on the fly, I've got all sorts of different directions I might go, is a combination of those things, of kind of spectacle event films that I would have loved to have seen, and also some things that I have seen that were really special theatrical experiences that I sort of want to highlight and kind of hope that other people can experience it that way too.
Yeah, I think all very valid strategies, except Dez's. I went in the same direction as kind of geared towards spectacle, right? I think that's something that the theatrical experience offers that you can't really get in your home when it does come to screen size or sound system or quality. So I kind of use that as my first rule of thumb. And then I also think in this draft, it's important to have maybe some varying genres. So not all action movies, not all massively built out environments when it comes to like a sci-fi film. So we'll see if I end up going that way or not. It really depends on what other people draft. And ultimately it comes down to what the person ahead of me drafts the most, and then scares me into drafting personally. So with that having been said, and I think we should draft. What do you guys?
Can I ask a question?
Please.
Question?
Yeah.
Did any of you take into consideration, or do you think that this is an important variable of drafting something that is something that regularly gets re-released in theaters?
I did take this into account.
Versus things that, I'm sure collectively amongst all of us, we've at least witnessed or seen things that do get re-released on a fairly regular basis or have come to theaters recently. Even studios like Neon have sort of taken on some classic films and put them in theaters the past couple of years. So was that like a consideration at all for anyone?
Absolutely. I was like,
Okay.
you know what? There's the movies that get released every year, like, I don't know, like a Studio Ghibli, that, there's the Ghibli Fest where, so it's going to be there at some point. I don't need to worry about that. There's movies that get the 10-year or the 15-year re-release. I feel like theaters, maybe particularly with the chains recently, have been really into doing re-releases.
Yeah.
So that's been really exciting to see. Like with Regal, they did like a horror movie every day last month in October. And I guess I'm timing myself now. I guess we're all doing it. But and then
I try to make an evergreen podcast, and we're all just like, let's timestamp it for eternity.
No, exactly. And then like this month they're doing, I don't know, they're just doing a movie every day for this month. So I don't know. I think I'm trying to take into consideration movies that are big, and maybe movies that have not seen the light of day and really should, or maybe that I personally think so.
Yeah. I took this into account for sure. I think there are obviously some notable re-releases coming up at the end of the year. I think we, let's timestamp ourselves, because why not? We did just get news recently that The Shining is getting a re-release in December. This will be the first time that The Shining is going to be going to IMAX. And then there was also an announcement that V for Vendetta will be getting a theatrical re-release for its 20th anniversary, which is very timely as well. So to your point, Des, Regal does a really good job of re-releasing a bunch of these things. I know right now there is Back to the Future getting a 40th anniversary re-release. There's tons of stuff that is now getting re-released. I think in the last 18 months has become financially fascinating for corporations and for places to re-release if they just have these DCPs sitting on their hard drives. I do think it's interesting because we all live in cities that have fairly good rep theaters, and we do have access to screenings that a lot of people not in major film cities have access to. So there were a lot of movies on my list where I was like, oh, my rep theater just showed that a few months ago. I don't think I'm going to draft it. But that's not like a nationwide re-release. You know what I mean? That's kind of a more of a personal thing there. Okay. Gooch, did you take this into account at all? Or is this something you're thinking about?
It is, but there are a few movies I'm not gonna lie, that like get re-released all the time, and I'm back there. Like I'm back there
every time.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Okay. No, that's good. Okay. All right, let's commence the theatrical re-release wish list draft here on the Movie Draft Podcast. I do have the spinner. This is just a standard wheel of names. I swear to God, it's normal. Let's click and figure out. Oh, I do think it's important, as with every draft, to clarify we are doing a regular style draft. So we are going to be drafting teams of 6. We are going to be drafting in a snake order. That means drafter 1, 2, 3, 4, and back up 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way until we have filled all of our teams. So if you do end up last on the spinner right now, you're going to end up at the turn, and you're going to have 2 picks in a row. All right, we're going to spin. Is anybody hoping to go first? I know the slate is wide, so there's not really a heavy amount of competition. But
Well,
I
it's
guess
gonna be you, buddy.
I guess it'll be me. All
Didn't
right,
even give me a chance.
that's
Rigged.
cool. Yeah, big time. I think it's pretty lame that I get to go on first on pretty much every single draft that doesn't fucking matter. So that's kind of annoying. All right. Whatever.
Damn.
I mean, we're just here for fun, guys. This is a good
Mr.
time.
Gooch.
All right. Gooch is
Listen,
going second.
I'm here to win. I'm here to put my foot on your.
Oh, okay.
Ethan.
Damn.
Wow. That was intense. I wasn't ready for that.
You're not gonna get Doug Lyman's
Guys, am I
jumper.
gonna go last? No.
Oh, man.
Okay.
I don't like making 2 decisions at once.
Yeah, that
really
is
hard.
tough.
Do you want to switch spots?
I do, yeah.
I will not allow that on this draft. Sorry.
What if we just ignored you and just chose films in the order that we
Okay,
decided?
so the thing is, Dez is going to be going third, Danny is fourth. If you ignored my ruling on this, I don't want to put any stakes out there, but it would be the end of the draft. Like it'd be chaos. Rules would fail to mean anything here on the show. You know what I mean? So you would actively contribute to the downfall of something, I don't know, as impressive as this.
Would our friendship prevail?
Probably not.
Oh.
I'd
I
probably
think
just
Dez and I's
delete.
friendship would
we're
be
fine.
stronger than ever if we did this.
Right,
Yeah,
we're locked
team up.
in.
Mutiny against me. God damn. All right, let's commence the draft. I've got the first pick here. Do you guys think there's really a category strategy here, or is it so deep that it just doesn't matter?
Feels like it probably doesn't matter all that much.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I am a little overwhelmed with the amount of possibilities.
Yeah,
right?
It's
that was
almost
my
harder
issue.
because it's like you
Mhm.
could just go in any number of directions versus having a constraint on you that actually helps kind of narrow it down.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, tough. This is tough.
That was my issue when you were like, "Oh yeah, like super chill." Like
I was, yeah.
It's whatever you guys love. The thing is,
I'm
I
arguably
love
thinking
movies.
harder.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the mental strain that I put all of you through in preparing for a draft with unlimited possibilities.
Yeah, I need you to
Um,
really reflect in on that and think
Yeah.
about it. Look in the mirror. You asked me to add the stress to my life on a Wednesday evening.
We're
You're
getting
revealing
down to
too
the
much.
date.
This is
Can
this is
I-
way too time stamped now, man. This
Wednesdays
is
could
way
be
too crazy. This is
anytime,
nuts.
pal.
This is
Wednesdays could
outta
be any
control.
Wednesday.
Ethan, I was wondering something
Okay.
while I was making my list because I know how you feel about going through Letterboxd and marking things that you've watched already. How your preparation process was because you think I'm.
That's a great
psychopath.
question. Yeah, I actually want Gooch's take on this as well. I don't think Danny has given me a take either. Gooch, if you know you watched a movie before you had Letterboxd, do you go on to Letterboxd and just mark it watched, or do you just wait until you watch it again?
The only things that are logged to my letterbox are things that I've watched since getting letterboxed.
Yeah, that's right. Right side of history, Gooch. That's what I'm talking about. What about you, Danny?
So I have a very specific way that I have decided to handle this. I
Here he
do
goes.
Such a political answer.
I do press watched, and I also have a list of seen but not logged, and I add it to that list, so I'm like aware of it. And if I ever rewatch it, I will then move it off that list and log it as a diary entry.
I
Oh,
actually
okay.
knew that already because I went through all of your lists.
That's a
What?
scary place to be. There's a lot of lists.
That's
No,
ri-
it is very scary.
that's scary when you reveal something about yourself and the first response you get is, "I already knew that
I
about
knew
you," from
that.
someone
That's-
that you don't even live in the same physical space of. That's crazy. Yeah, I think that's psychotic behavior. I stand by that.
Okay.
On
Okay,
Dez's
so-
part or my part? I need you to
De-
clarify.
Dez's part. I think you
Okay.
you have a method to your madness, Danny, and I respect
Right,
that, and that
right. Okay.
that's totally cool.
Just
I
wanted
think-
to clarify that.
It's a hard it's
Mhm.
you know, it's a hard mark. It's like
Yeah.
it's like before Christ and after Christ. You know what I mean? Like that's how
It kind
dates
of
are
is. Like,
determined. It's
the audience of
pre-letterboxed
this show
and
will
post-letterboxed.
understand it. To anyone else, it would sound insane, but you're exactly right. Like it
Thank
is
you.
that level of
It is.
magnitude in our heads.
It's a line in the sand. You know, this is how
And what if
history
you're
is
atheist?
determined. History is still determined, you know, with those dates. I don't make the rules. That's just what it
No,
is.
you're right. No,
He's
I mean,
He's really
Oh.
vamping right now with his first
No,
round
I'm
pick.
ready to pick. I swear to God, I was ready to pick 5 minutes ago. You guys got me all off on these tangents, arguably making it harder to pick something. I'm not going to put too much thought
What?
into this. I'm going to go with my gut instinct to be number one. So I'm actually going to go in 2010s, which I would argue is probably one of the easiest categories to draft from in terms of theatrical events and movies that are big and could be seen on the big screen. I am going to be drafting a movie that I never got the chance to see in a theater. So, you know, kind of what Gooch was talking about here, that I wish so badly that I could see in a theater. And in the 2010s, I'm going to be drafting Mission Impossible Fallout. This is a movie that I just would have killed to see in a theater. And I actually have a secondary motive for drafting this as well, because we're getting all of these franchise installments. We're getting all of these new chapters where they are doing re-releases of previous installments, right? And where it's like, show up every week for 4 weeks prior to this new 5th entry coming out, and you can watch all of them in a theater. And that's incredibly cool. Mission Impossible did not do that leading up to Final Reckoning, even though it was just ripe for the taking, and I would have been at every fucking one of those movies. And I feel really disappointed that they did not engage in that kind of a marketing stunt. I'm sure there's a million logistics that go into the back end of this, primarily getting screens, obviously, in the summertime. But I would have killed to see Mission Impossible Fallout on a theater size screen with a theater sound system. So that's what I'm going to be taking in 2010s.
You know, the fucked up thing is they did it in England.
What?
He's our American James Bond, and they fucking
Are you serious?
They did the re-release. They did that run in England.
That's
Pissed me off so much.
fucked, man.
The
That's-
BFI did like a full Tom Cruise.
Oh
series also.
yeah,
Yeah.
But like I think what's their
So
chain? It's like
screwed up.
Cineworld, I think is their big
Mhm.
chain there. Yeah, Cineworld had a big lead up to the Mission Impossible Final
I wonder-
Reckoning.
Then I wonder if that's a rights thing. You know, I wonder
Must
if that's like a rights issue. It's got to be something that boils down to it. Anyway,
BFI programming is so good. It's
Dude.
Yeah.
genuinely
it's hard to
awesome.
compete with
Yeah.
something like that. Okay, that's what I've taken. I feel really good about that. Gooch, you have a pick now.
Yeah, I'm gonna start in Wild Card, and I'm gonna start
Ooh.
Whoa,
Yeah.
spicy! I like
yes,
that.
a movie released in 1977 that kicked off the biggest franchise in cinematic history. It has never
Wow.
been re-released ever before, and that is the 1977 theatrical cut of Star Wars.
Mhm.
I've
Yeah,
got to
that's
see
fire.
it before Lucas got his fucking fingers on it. I respect him as an artist. He can do what he wants with it, but I got to see that original cut one time, and I want to see it on the big screen now. This is rumored to be happening in 2027. which is
I did.
huge.
I'm glad you called this out. I wanted to make note of this. April 30th, 2027 is the rumored re-release of a 4K restoration of the original theatrical cut of this movie for the film's 50th anniversary.
It is insane that you just can't watch that. Like
Mhm.
you can't watch it unless you get like some weird bootleg stream, which I'm not doing. I got to see it on a big screen, like we were talking about earlier. Like I cannot experience that for the first time on my fucking laptop.
Mhm.
Sorry.
I think that a sublime pick for exactly like what you mentioned. This idea of you can't watch it. And I think we live in an interesting time, especially with streaming, where there are so many things, even though there's millions of titles available on so many different platforms, there are certain things that just don't exist. And, you know, we're veering into conversation of why physical media is so important and the collection and preservation of these pieces of art. But this is a premium example of why theatrical re-releases are kind of a big deal and why they give you a big opportunity to do something that a person or generation has never got to experience.
Yeah.
I
No,
think it's kind of crazy that they could have waited 5 more days for May the 4th. No?
That's a good point.
Maybe they
And
will.
wait,
I don't know. It's
that
just
is- that is
rumored
the
at this
same
point.
franchise, right? Right?
It is.
Right? It is.
Okay.
Apparently, it's going to include a year-long 50th anniversary celebration for Star Wars at large because it's going to be the 50th anniversary of the franchise. You know what they should do? Let's date ourselves a little bit more. They should, at that point in time, announce that they're actually revamping The Hunt for Ben Solo, and they got Soderbergh to rewrite the script, and everything's greenlit. That's the 50th anniversary news that I want.
The Hunt for Ben Solo?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Star Wars talk to us.
It's
This
Adam
is
Driver. He's got a big
again,
chest.
I don't want to sidebar into all of this, but like if they even remotely adapted the Kylo Ren short run of comics, I think it's like a 6-run comic, it would just be incredible stuff for a movie, and it sounds like it was kind of in a similar vein.
Well, what if we gave you a generic ass movie called Starfighter and we let Sean Levy direct it? Doesn't that sound? That sounds
Yeah,
good.
Star Wars thirst quenched.
It's a really
right there.
good trade-off. Yeah.
I saw a trailer for The Mandalorian Grogu last night before Badlands, and I was just like, I'm gonna fucking kill everybody in this theater. That is it's just like, what are we doing with Star Wars? You know? God damn, you really fired me up with this pick, Gooch. The espresso's
Wait,
kicking in.
I do have something to tell Mr. Gooch because I feel like he might get a kick out of this. I only started watching the Star Wars movies and TV shows recently. Like I'm talking maybe earlier this year because
Oh, okay.
anytime I tried to watch it prior, they're so boring that I fall asleep like while like the scroll up text is happening because it just quite literally bores me to tears. But
That's crazy.
but the crazy thing is I'm going in timeline order with the shows and the movies. Crazy, I know.
Oh, so
But-
yeah, you started with the like
That's-
most
yeah, it's
boring
terrible.
crawl ever. They're like
Bad idea.
They're the Federation's dealing with taxes with the Senate. Like, yeah, that probably did bore you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the crazy thing is I was genuinely shocked to find out who Darth Vader was because I forgot like the whole quote, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh my god, no fucking way.
Man.
Yeah, crazy
To
reveal,
Des's
man.
point, there was a point in my preparation, and I have diverted from that because I think it's very clear that was not the intent of this. I did at one point in time interpret this draft as if I could go back to the theatrical release and experience it in that
Oh,
time.
That would be fire.
interesting.
There's a
Yeah.
totally different swath
That's a
of
different
movies.
draft. Totally
That's a different
draft.
draft.
Huh.
Totally different intent. But there was a
Mhm.
different, like, I was thinking about like the Sixth Sense, for example, of if I could have experienced
Oh.
that live with the people like learning it for the first time, like that truly would have been a once in a lifetime experience, right? So
Mhm.
I think that brings up a really interesting point because it's not this
Mhm.
draft, but it is an interesting idea.
Did you
That
guys
is
see
a
that
really,
video
really good-
that resurfaced like 2 weeks ago? Let's date this even more.
I'm obsessed with this bit. You guys took what I said and you just really threw it in the ground. You really said no, not today.
It was from the original run of Heat, and it was someone recording in the
Yeah, I did see this
audience of
video.
Al Pacino's she's
Doing
got
the
a great ass.
Great ass. Everybody
The crowd
dying
went
laughing.
nuts.
That's really funny.
I thought that movie was De Niro.
It is.
It's both.
Oh, it's both of them.
Oh wow.
They love.
I
each
love
other.
having you on this pod, Des. It's really fun time.
Mind you, Heat's my favorite movie. I know that movie. It's directed by. Oh wait, it's my turn, right? Okay, so I think I'm gonna go with. Imagine I
Okay.
say Heat.
I'd be a little pissed. I'd be a little upset. You know?
Why? I just
Oh,
told
you
you
did
that's my favorite
say-
movie, and I love
You
it.
did say you would draft things that personally affected him, and he
That's true.
now has admitted. That
Am I
this would
trying to
personally affect
bait
him.
you though? You know, anything's possible. I don't know. Do you have a tattoo in reference to heat, like on your body? Because I
I'll get
do.
one right now.
Okay. Well, already too late. I already have mine.
Oh, real. No, I actually don't know what Heat's about. I'm not gonna lie. So sorry.
Okay, that's okay. You know, we just
It's about two men finding love and respect for one another.
thank you. That's exactly what it
gay?
is.
And they're
Piqued-
really sweaty.
Worse.
Piques
way
your
worse.
interest? Worse. it's like, are they gay? Worse.
Worse. Damn. Hate to hear that.
Oh. We'll do
Is
a
it actually my turn?
heat characters draft with Dez. That'll be fun. Yeah, it's your turn. Make a draft.
The
pick,
way
you know?
that I genuinely was ready to go last because in my mind, Danny and I
You
switched
were
places.
last. Yeah, right.
Yeah, you did
Mhm.
not.
If I
Dez-
drafted a movie right now, we could just totally upend.
I would
the
abolish this
only-
draft. It just wouldn't release. It would be the demise. I would post on socials, be like, "There is no draft this week because people don't listen to the rules." You know, make a
All right,
pick,
sorry.
Des. Make a
He's
pick.
He's put us in a corner, Des. We have to.
Whoa.
We gotta
okay.
follow the rules.
Gotta follow the rules over here. Okay. I'm gonna go with the 1980s. The good old 80s, guys. And my movie is going to be When Harry Met Sally.
Ooh.
Ooh, I like that.
I was between a few different movies, but I think that has to be my one. That is like the number one rom-com of ever. And I would love to see that on the big screen.
That's
I
a
think
great
that would be
pick.
a really fun theatrical experience. Like
I
I think
agree.
that talking about like a social contract and like how you're bonded with these strangers over this one
Mhm.
instance, that seems like a movie that would really like kind of solidify that idea. It's a good pick.
Absolute
Thank
banger.
you.
I've been thinking about that. I've been wanting to rewatch it recently. I walk through
Mhm.
the park like almost every single day, every morning
Mhm.
at least, and I do the Billy Crystal, like you know the speed walk
Little
I'm
juke,
talking
yeah.
about. I don't
Yeah.
wear the leggings,
Mhm.
but I do the walk. And it reminds me of it every single time. Like just
Mm.
iconic.
Yeah, that's a movie I've never seen on the big screen.
Me
So yeah, that'd be good.
If only it got a re-release, you know?
If only. First romantic comedy. I mean, two action
Ever?
movies. No, I'm saying in this draft. First romantic
Yeah.
comedy ever, and it's like the superseding genre of the 1940s is like rom-com. Okay, Danny, you have two picks back to back.
Oh, I didn't want
Stressful.
this pressure. There's so much pressure. All right,
Yeah.
I feel pretty good about my first one, and then I might vamp for a second or two. But the first one, I'm also gonna go to the 80s, which is that three of us now who have gone to the 80s?
Just you and Des.
No.
Gooch's was wild card. That's right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go to the 80s too, because I'm gonna take this movie that I feel like had the biggest tension between me watching it on a small laptop screen and feeling the intense desire for the need to be watching it on the biggest screen imaginable. And it's one of the most important anime films of all time, has inspired countless films since. I am going to go with Otomo's Akira for the
Ooh.
1980s.
Nice.
That's sick. It's a
Yeah.
awesome pick.
What if instead
This-
of a re-release, we got a live action movie directed by Taika Waititi?
What
Hmm?
if?
What if?
I will personally fund that.
Wouldn't that be better?
Is that
That's
still
crazy.
happening?
Oh.
There's no way, right?
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
There's no way.
Let's vet the very timely information.
I
here.
don't put anything past anyone anymore on the sanctity of of originality.
Officially canceled at Warner Bros.
Oh,
Aw.
Not ideal.
damn.
Tough. They let the film rights lapse and didn't want to get back. Man, what is up with Taika Waititi and his scrapped projects? Tough beat, huh? Maybe not a very good filmmaker. Who's to say?
Whoa.
Okay. So pretty awesome pick in 1980s. Now you just got to follow it up with another awesome pick.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with a similar strategy of another film that I think was weirdly enough, I didn't really plan this, but I'm going to go with another animated film that I think had a really big impact on me. Never saw it in theater, but I think it would play in a totally different light now in theater. And I think that would resonate in a really impactful way. I'm going to go with the 2000s, and I'm going to say WALL-E.
Oh, wow.
A film that I truly love and admire and think is incredibly prescient and important, and was at the sort of peak of Pixar's golden era. But I was too young to comprehend that in theater. And I would love an opportunity to revisit that in the most grand way of course, seeing it on a big screen. So yeah, I'm gonna go with 2000s WALL-E. I would love an opportunity to see this. I think it would be really cool. I think it would play entirely different now with the hindsight of the last 17 years and how prescient that movie actually sort of was, and important it sort of was, especially for including the ideas it talks about within, you know, a format that's friendly for younger audiences. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I didn't plan on taking 2 animated movies, but here we are.
Guillermo del Toro over here.
Yeah, goddamn.
I also
Animation and
appreciate
cinema.
WALL-E for including Fred Willard as the only live action character to ever appear in a Pixar movie. Love that man. R.I.P.
He died?
Yeah.
Tough, yeah. 5 years ago, Des.
You're joking.
No, he died in May of 2020. Okay. Interesting. I guess I'm colder on WALL-E than most people, which is kind of a hot take because it's widely regarded as like one of the best animated feature films of all time. It's obviously in the Criterion Collection.
Yeah, it's the only animated film on the Criterion Collection.
Right. It's a big deal. We did a Pixar collaborative draft a while back, so my thoughts on WALL-E are kind of known. In thinking about this draft, if my rep theater was like, we're screening WALL-E, I don't know if I'd go. I gotta be honest with you. Sorry.
Well, you are the person who has historically been noted to hate animation.
I love animation. Listen, I've been tweeting about animation regularly recently. Just ask Bobby, friend of the pod.
Tweeting about it
I will ask
doesn't
Bobby
really
myself.
provide a huge defense.
Bobby was like, wow, he's tweeting about animated feature film on Maine? This is great. And I was. It's just about how Turning Red is actually the best Pixar
You're
movie,
pandering to the audience.
nonetheless. Okay, so you got two animated feature films. Very impressive work from Danny. Des, we're back to you.
We're back to me.
Has anybody had anything stolen yet? That was like on your real short list. No.
WALL-E was on my list to take from Danny if I wanted to. Because I knew that you would have liked that movie.
If I wanted to, she says with power.
Des knows more about myself than I know about me.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
At
I
least she
never
didn't
forget
tell you.
it.
At least she doesn't tell you that she looks into your soul and knows that you listen to a certain kind of band based on your soul.
We all
Have
knew
you
that,
ever
Ethan.
looked at yourself in the
look
mirror?
at him? Look in a mirror.
Please.
You're literally wet.
You're literally wrapping car radio in your head right now. I
Sometimes
can
my
hear it.
car radio goes missing, and I sit there and wonder, in silence.
Sit in
God,
silence.
God forbid, sit in
You
silence.
could be in a 21 Pilots
Oh my
music
God.
video and no one would even think twice.
No, exactly.
Okay, let's steer this conversation back to Danny. Okay, this is not about me and my
It's actually
musical
not my
choices
pick
here.
anymore. It's off my
Oh,
list.
right. Let's go to Devs.
Okay. So here's what I'm thinking.
Mhm.
I'm thinking I'm gonna go 90s.
Ooh.
Scary. I know.
Mhm.
Got some bangers. I think I'm gonna go with Big Coob and go Eyes Wide Shut.
Fuck. Are you
Mm.
serious?
Yes. Oh my
What
god.
the hell's
music to
wrong
my
with
ears.
you? Whatever, man. I don't care. It wasn't really on my short list anyway, but that's just rude.
I don't care.
That's so mean. I just put this movie in my 4 favorites. You know, like show some
Take
respect.
it out.
Take it out.
That's a big decision when you move something to 4 favorites.
Yeah, I put a lot of thought into it, and I was also late changing my spooky favorites because it's not October anymore. So,
Well, if only you didn't take my favorite movie, Fallout. Then maybe
you've never even seen my favorite movie. Let me check that list one more time. What was that?
Check's notes.
My
What was that
favorite-
called?
my favorite
Fallout.
movie.
Oh yeah, she doesn't
Fall
even
Na-
know it.
Fall
Doesn't even
Nation
call it
Protocol.
Mission Impossible. Okay,
Rogue
but
Nation, the final reckoning Fallout, right?
No,
with a
exactly.
ghost. Yeah.
With a ghost.
So you actually like this movie? I see 4.5 stars and a heart on Letterboxd.
Eyes Wide Shut? Hell yeah.
Okay. Are you excited for the Criterion restoration? The 4K restoration we're getting? Okay.
Hell yeah. I forgot to place my order for it.
God,
Um,
they need to hurry up
but
and
I
get
will
back
be.
together. I need mom and dad
Yeah.
back together.
Hollywood
They're
needs
both
it
single.
more
They're
now
both
more
single.
than ever. They are. That's true.
Kubrick's
love
ghost.
We've
Isn't
decided
he
to.
dating Ana de Armas?
No, they broke
It's
up.
over.
Oh,
Were they
yeah,
ever?
it's up.
It's over. Well, yeah.
Mm.
I really appreciate this. I don't think we've ever delved into celebrity relationship timelines before here on this show. And really, one of the episodes that we're pre-recording the farthest in advance, we're talking about very timely celebrity relationships, and that's really important. I think just a couple of days ago, Nicole Kidman at a Sabrina Carpenter concert got
She got
handcuffed.
arrested. With the
So
handcuffs.
did my goddess Anne Hathaway. You know?
Yeah.
Yours
God.
in particular?
Have you seen that still from Mother Mary? Whoa.
Yeah.
You know?
Of course I have.
Okay, so you took Eyes Wide Shut. Interesting choice. I think I fully support this, but I think an interesting choice within the confines of this draft in terms of a theatrical re-release. I did get to recently see this movie. There was a 35 millimeter print at my rep theater that I got to go to a handful of months ago, which was really, really exciting. So I have experienced this in a theatrical setting. It's pretty lights out. It's pretty unreal. But I think it swerves a little bit, you know, on this idea of like what a theatrical re-release is, like action or spectacle, right? Eyes Wide Shut is not those things, I would argue.
All I heard was that you think you're better than me because you saw it in theaters.
I'm
and
just I'm just stating facts.
That you think that you're better than me?
Contrary to what I said with Danny, I'm proving I would go see Eyes Wide Shut in a theater. You know?
Oh, okay. So
I've got your back.
The validity of all of
So
our
I'm
draft picks
better
is
than Danny.
whether Ethan
Whether I've
would
seen
see
it.
it in theater.
Yeah, would
Hey,
Ethan
okay,
see it
but-
in theaters?
But for real, isn't that what we're doing? Isn't that the exercise of this draft? Would you see it if it got re-released in a theater? Isn't that the
Would I
ultimate
see
goal?
it?
No, I know,
Yes.
but would people voting on these teams, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you voting?
Oh, I vote 13 times per draft. I have 13 burners that I
You're stealing the vote. Stop the count.
Eyes Wide Shut 1, Eyes Wide Shut 2. These are my handles.
When he went on that run, there was no doubt in my mind that it was bots or burners. One of
I
the
think
two.
that's every
Bots or
time he wins
burners?
something.
Yeah. Shoot. Okay, well that's the first movie that I have to read on my short list. That's tough.
Womp womp.
All right. Okay, Gooch, we're back to you.
Man, I hope this is on your list too.
Probably.
In 1994, the year I was born, one man stood above the rest and sported a buzz cut and actually looked good with it.
Mhm.
That man was Keanu Reeves, and the movie was Speed. Oh, what a banger. Jan DeBont, Dennis Hopper going nuts. I've never seen it on the big screen, and I feel like that is just, it's amazing at home. Don't get me wrong, but it is a movie like built for the big screen. Jan DeBont just going crazy. Sandra Bullock, I think that's like her first big role. Looks so good. Chemistry off the charts. Yeah, no, I really, really, really want to see this one on a big screen one day. And I don't know if I don't know if I've never seen that. I see a lot of re-releases around New York City. Like there's rep screenings happening nonstop. I've never seen Speed on like anybody's marquee. Like never, not once.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got one of the key fundamental things that I think make a theatrical release interesting, which is a loud and fast vehicle. And, you know, there's a bus here. So that's important. And movie stars in their prime, nonetheless, which is also really important. This is a cool pick. I really like this.
Keanu, we just did a ranking of his filmography. And I did a little rewatch through like his big hits, and goddamn, he just has had, it sounds crazy to say, a very underrated career. Like just so many big iconic movies. And this is towards the top of the list for me.
Where did you rank the Bill and Ted movies?
Top 10. I mean, I think like
Hell
8.
yeah.
I think 8, 9.
I'll take it.
But I mean, he's also got, the Matrix movies. He's got Point Break. He's got,
Utah.
The Replacements. You can't forget that. But yeah, no, I got to see Speed one day.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
Okay. I've got 2 picks. One of these I'm pretty locked in on, and so I'll make that pick first, and then we can vamp about what my second pick might be. So in 2000s, I'm going to be going with a movie that I think fulfills a lot of these ideas of what a theatrical re-release would be. I remember when I first saw this movie, was on my phone on a plane. And so I think the personal kind of advocacy to see this on a huge theatrical screen is definitely there from the way I experienced it. And I remember I raced to make a TikTok, and it really fueled my idea of what are movies that you want to see re-released? What are movies that you wished you experienced for the first time on a big screen? So in 2000s, I'm going to be taking the Wachowskis' Speed Racer. This is a movie that is all color, all energy, all ridiculous visuals. And I honestly think it is like a perfect theater movie. And I would kill to see this on a big screen. I think, combines a lot of what we've been talking about. Fast, loud cars, eventized visuals. And I think it's a phenomenal film.
No, this movie rules. I saw this in a theater, and I remember it specifically because I had never known this about my dad, but the weeks leading up, once the trailer started coming out, he was like, "Oh, I love Speed Racer." And I was like, "What do you mean you love Speed Racer?" Turns out he had watched the cartoons growing up and was thrilled to bring me to the theater to see this movie. I would have never guessed that out of him. And I can just remember that very vividly. He did like the movie. So that was a win for me.
That's sick.
That's
awesome. Really cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay. Danny, have you guys seen Speed Racer?
I have not, and I really
Okay.
want to. This has been something that's been, I'd say, lingered on my watch list for a very long time, and just haven't pressed play on that. So that's a blind spot that I definitely I would love to cover it, and would love even more to cover it in the theater.
Okay. I'm just doing a little bit of thinking here. I'm kind of getting into a zone where I'm getting a little broy. I think Speed Racer kind of takes me out of that just a little bit, but what I'm thinking about for my next movie, it kind of, I fall back into this pit. But I think that's okay. I got to be true to myself. And this is a movie that is going to be celebrating its 30th anniversary in literally the day before this podcast comes out. It is going to be timely. It is going to be prescient. It is going to be important. And God willing, we will have a re-release announced by then for this movie. So I'm hoping that I can speak this into existence. In the 1990s, I'm taking heat. I just can't not do it. I can't not do it. There's one particular reason as well why I'm taking Heat. 2 years ago, Ben flew from Salt Lake to Portland to watch the Academy Awards with me. We watched the Academy Awards screen at a local theater. It was a great time. It was really, really fun. The day that Ben flew in, we ended up hanging out, grabbed some dinner, et cetera, et cetera. That evening was the same evening that my rep theater has only ever screened Heat for one night on 35 millimeter. That was the night. I seriously considered not hanging out with Ben, my best friend who just flew into town, so I could go see Heat. And I forever hold this against Ben. I've actually never told him this. So this is big, super duper honesty time. So I'd love to see Heat in a theater, you know? I just really would.
Ben should have to like rent out a private theater for you and make it happen.
Yeah.
Great idea. Great birthday present. Anybody listening, Ben, if you're listening.
Totally on board with that.
Yeah, I think that's important. Obviously, Heat has seen, you know, many renditions. We have the theatrical cut. We have I think they call it the ultimate cut or the ultimate edition, whatever Michael Mann has kind of put out there into the world. We do have the 4K release of Heat, which looks quite phenomenal. And, you know, Heat is one of those movies that's just constantly in the film lexicon. People are just always talking about Heat, it seems like. And it's weird that we don't like have a re-release kind of mentioned, considering Warner Brothers owns the distribution rights to this movie. But admittedly, you know, mid-December, they're going to be in the heat of Sinners re-release, One Battle After Another re-release. They're going to be actually vying for things that people want to see, and not Heat 30 years later, unfortunately.
Do you think
I feel like Heat's big?
Well, Heat's big, but I'm talking about, in terms of Academy Awards. Like, they're going to be doing screenings and Q&As and things for movies that are prescient right now. Gooch, you had a question?
I was going to say, do you think they're waiting until the Heat 2, I
wonder.
Announcement is like very official?
It's a good question. I actually don't think we'll ever see, or I don't think we'll see a Heat re-release in conjunction with anything related to Heat 2, because Warner Bros. Passed on Heat 2. The budget got too high, ballooned up too much, of course, with Michael Mann, and they shipped it off to another production company. And so to get those things aligned from like a Warner Bros. Standpoint, and then now a new company, a Michael Mann standpoint, I just don't see him like going to that amount of effort, which is like a damn shame. But I don't know, man. You know, we're doing fucking double bills for Wicked and Wicked for Good. When Heat 2 comes out, just put up some double bills. You know, put up Heat and Heat 2. It's not that hard.
Counter programming.
Exactly.
Listen, there's a Wicked and Wicked for Good double bill screening. That's one ticket that you just.
That's what I'm saying. Experience the reheat. You know, now's the time.
Re-releases are a little bit for the sickos. They're,
they are. Yeah. Big time.
You got to have a little sicko energy to go to these things. You can just watch any of these movies at home anytime you want.
But when I go to put on Heat, my kids are sleeping across the house, right? This is a movie about
I'm not saying it's convenient.
This is a movie about shooting loud guns and then watching hot people run from the law. You know, like, I want that shit loud, and I want it crystal clear, as big as possible. I have a pretty good setup in my home. I love my sound system, and I have a massive 85-inch 4K TV that I love. Still does not do Heat justice. I got to be honest.
Do you guys bring earplugs to the movie theater?
What?
Whose turn is it? We have to move on.
Said the quiet part out loud. That's crazy.
I need the
we gotta follow this
Ethan's reaction. I need that clip more than I need air.
You do this, Des? You bring
so derogatory. It's so derogatory.
How loud is your Regal?
It's really fucking loud, actually. Like, I went to go see
They took that John M2 advice. They were like, turn it up to 7.
Listen, the timely mention of this, I saw the re-release of Sinners last week in IMAX. loud as fuck. I was like, oh my god, thank God I brought my earplugs
Mhm.
because this shit is so loud. It was shaking me. I'm sorry, my eardrums are precious to me.
That's cool.
That's
I
fair.
make sure I have my water bottle, my keys, my wallet, my earplugs. Those are the 4.
Dez isn't in it for a good time. Dez is in it for a long time.
Right.
Because
This is the long haul here.
the
Yeah.
hearing is going to
The
be
long
good
walk.
while the rest of us are going to be.
Meanwhile,
out of it.
I'm just watching Heat in theaters as many times as possible, losing my hearing to these guns going off.
In 50
Mhm.
years, Ethan's going to be just watching Heat. He's not going to
Yeah,
be hearing.
that's all that I'll hear. It's only Heat.
So
It's like
soak it all in
seared-
because you're going to need to remember that dialogue,
right,
buddy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Seared into my brain. It's the only decibel level that I can catch. All right, Gooch, you have a pick.
It's just like the world is my oyster right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go
It's a
into
little bit
the,
terrifying.
I'm
It
gonna go
is.
into the 2000s with a movie that I did not see in theaters, and I do not think will ever get a re-release because it was received well, but not well enough, and definitely does not have the fan base for it. And that's Danny Boyle's Sunshine with Cillian Murphy
Oh wow.
and a massive cast: Rose Byrne, Chris Evans, Michelle Yeoh, Hiroki Sanada,
Yeah.
Benedict Wong, Mark Strong, like huge cast.
Yep.
I think this movie is just like simply like, I think it's amazing for one thing, but also it's just like a visual spectacle and utilizes like really bright color palettes, like almost glaringly bright. Even in my like home setup, I would love to see that on a big screen because it just looks like a completely different experience with a sci-fi movie than I can imagine, like, or at least I've ever had.
Mm-hmm. I've had this on my watch list for a long time. I have never seen this film though.
It's really good. I really, really like it. But I see why there's a third act. It's a very hectic third act that doesn't land for a lot of people. But for me, it like elevates it to another level.
I think this is a good pick regarding what Danny said though. Like theatrical re-releases are for sickos, kind of like, right? If you were strolling through New York and you saw a marquee for Sunshine, like a 35mm screening of Sunshine, you'd lose your shit. You know, like that's kind of what we want out of a theatrical re-release, in my opinion. Gooch, are you only drafting movies with the letter S, or what's
Where
your
am I at
plan
now?
here?
I'm at, oh man, my next pick might have 2.
Oh God! You've set a personal rule for yourself here, huh?
Actually, I can make this work. Yeah, we can make this
Okay.
work.
Yeah, we actually you drafted Speed, and then I drafted Speed Racer, which I didn't notice. Two Speed titles.
Yeah.
in a
I
row.
realized that.
Yeah.
When you started saying it, Ethan, I literally was like,
Sorry to
you just did that. Like what are you talking about?
right. All right, Des, we are back to you for a draft pick.
Yes.
Do you want me to vamp for a second? Because I actually have a question on my mind that I kind of want to field. Or are you ready to pick?
Go crazy, Ethan.
No. Please go if you want to pick. You know, go.
No, please. It is your pod.
Okay, that's a little derogatory, but you know what? Why don't you just draft? I'll save it. I'll pin the question for later.
You can do it for me because I'm gonna have to make 2 decisions again.
Okay, yeah. There you go. I'll pause.
So I think, yeah, I'm gonna go with 2020s,
Ooh, first foray into the 2020s.
and I'm going to go with The Tragedy of Macbeth.
Oh, I love this pick. Wow, very cool.
Thank you. I literally just realized it because I was looking through and I was like, I feel like I need like a solid 2020s one. Maybe a movie that got like super limited that was either due to COVID or because of, just the Oscars games that, distributors like to play. But that is a movie that I remember watching on my laptop and being so pissed at the end that I did not see it on the big screen. That is one of the most visually stunning movies I think I've ever seen in my life. It is gorgeous. I think Denzel doing Shakespeare is something everyone should probably experience on a big screen. That is probably one of the best movies of the 2020s. And I don't think a lot of people really think about that just because it had such a come and go release type of deal.
Yeah. I love this movie. I'd love to rewatch it. We covered this over on 24 Minutes of A24 a long time ago when this film came out in 2021. I think this is a great conversation point real fast to this idea of limited theatrical releases or things that are maybe put at the Egyptian in Hollywood for one night so it can qualify for the Academy Awards. The Egyptian, of course, owned by Netflix, I believe, if I'm getting my facts straight. This very similar idea here. This was an A24 and Apple TV kind of co-distribution here.
Yeah.
Apple and A24 had a deal for a while where they bungled a lot of big releases, and they continue to do so, interestingly enough. But this premiered at the 2021 New York Film Festival, and it was released, limited release. There are no details right on this Wikipedia page, but limited release December 25th prior to streaming on Apple on January 14th. So that's how I consumed it, was on Apple TV Plus in my home on a small TV. 100% not the way this movie should be consumed whatsoever. And I'm really glad we're going into this arena of Apple, Netflix, these streaming platforms that don't really release things theatrically. Of course, F1 notwithstanding, Killers of the Flower Moon notwithstanding, things like that, that end up being quite large box office successes. But a movie this beautiful and a movie where there are like capital A actors doing capital A acting, I think this is like a really, really good pick for your team.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was excited to see where the conversation would go once we started dipping into the 2020s. And I'm not surprised that we all started with earlier decades, because those are things that probably we obviously, for obvious reasons, didn't see in theater. And 2020s is likely we're either picking things that we want to revisit that we did see in theaters, or for one reason or another, particularly with COVID, there are a lot of films that might have just been not able for various reasons to have had a theatrical run, and we might be picking from that pool. So I think the 2020s conversation is sort of like an asterisk on this compared to other decades, that I'm really excited to explore how people attack that.
I agree. Cool. All right. Tragedy of Macbeth off the board. Pretty successful Joel Coen project in my opinion. I think that was the very first project where it was like the Coens are doing different things. And that was kind of the line in the sand, as you know, a la what we're getting with Safdies now, of like realizing maybe it's a little uneven in the pairing there. Okay. Danny, you've got two picks. You want to pick one, and then I can ask my question that I'm still putting a pin in?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
So I feel pretty good about the next one I'm going to do. It is actually under that category that I mentioned in the beginning of a movie that I did have the opportunity to see in a rep screening, and was sort of a transcendent experience that I feel like could have only been experienced in that way. And it also falls under that category of the only people doing this and going to that type of screening at the time of night that this ran are just sickos that just love the game of cinema and just live, die, breathe it, bleed it. And that is 1996's David Cronenberg's Crash.
Wow.
This
real
was
sicko shit. Nice.
Des is upset. I'm seeing the tension here. This was a transcendent theatrical experience. Not to mention, it was double billed with my local theater, programming it alongside Julia Ducournau's Titan, which is just
wow, real
genius,
automotive
brilliant,
sickos. Yeah,
genius, brilliant programming. And David Cronenberg is in I'm also sort of approaching this I'm realizing this is a little bit of a late breaking spin of sort of Mount Rushmore auteur directors for me. And David Cronenberg is in that, absolutely. And so I was very lucky to see this in theater for the first time. It was my first time seeing it, which is a really special version, I think, of this experience versus a movie that you've already seen that you're revisiting in theater. It's still wonderful and spectacular in so many ways, but like holding out on, getting the opportunity to see it for the first time is really special too. So yeah, I'm gonna go with this. My favorite Cronenberg film, from one of my favorite directors, and I think it's just so much fun to see in a crowd of people just reacting to what is 1996's Crash.
Well, it's really 97.
Okay, let's
So
relax on the call
I'm
out
aware
here.
that this is a point of contention. Yes.
Yes, this is a legacy point of contention here on the show. Would I like this movie, guys? Would I like Crash 1996? I've never seen it.
How do you feel about James Spader?
I mean, he's coming back as Ultron, so what's not to like.
He's hot.
He's very.
How do you
handsome in
like
this movie?
How do
Need
like
that.
How do you
seeing
feel about
every
James
bit
Spader?
of James Spader?
I'd be pro. 1996
square
James
centimeter
Spader.
of that man.
Ooh, okay.
It's a 2-time Emmy winner. Come on.
I need like a theater release of just like the trifecta of just like sexual Spader. And it's just like sexualized videotape Crash in Secretary.
I thought you were going to say season 1 of Boston Legal.
I'll take that too.
That'll be the
Season 8
closing
of The
programming.
Office.
Yeah, season 8 of The Office. Exactly. I'm the fucking Lizard King. Okay.
I genuinely do just love James Spader.
Yeah, he's a gift to society.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Sweet, cool pick. Kind of urges me to watch this movie even more. The thing that I was going to say is kind of this conversation of new installments and next chapters and what we talked about with Mission Impossible and things like this. Do you think it is maybe something worth exploring for distributors and theater chains to do kind of Gooch, your pick kind of made me think about this with Danny Boyle, right? We just had 28 Years Later come out. That's a big deal. I know a lot of rep theaters and rep screenings will program filmographies and say, we're doing Cronenberg once a week for 6 weeks, and it's going to be a different Cronenberg every week, or we're doing a different Danny Boyle. I wonder if there will ever get to a point where we do see, a huge re-release schedule for something like that, like this major auteur, like a James Cameron situation. Avatar: Fire and Ash coming out. Let's take the 6 weeks leading up to that. Let's drop Titanic. Let's drop, all of these other Cameron movies. Obviously, The Abyss got a 4K re-release already. Things like that are interesting to me. Is that interesting to you guys? Because that is kind of sicko mode, or is that just maybe like overkill?
It feels like we're heading there, but it also feels like something that can only work in a few cities, sadly.
Yeah.
Like you need enough sickos. You
Right.
need enough sickos to make it work.
You're basically saying like run through their filmography.
Yeah. Run through their filmography.
I mean, Philly does this in a light version. They don't do like every single movie in their filmography, but they'll do director curated series and have like anywhere from like 3 to 6 or 7. Like right now they're doing David Lynch. And I actually think they're doing just about all of his filmography.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a lot. Like I've never had the time and availability to like do everything on the series, but if I can pick off 1 or 2, it's definitely cool to theme it like that.
Yeah, I think that'd be kind of fun. Okay, you have another pick though, Danny.
I do. Great reminder there. I almost got distracted a little bit.
Almost just passed right on through.
So I've done 80s, 90s, and 2000s, not in that order. I'm still debating what to do with the 2020s, to be honest. So I'm going to go to 2010s, which I think, to your point, Ethan, has a plethora of tremendous options. I think there's some really obvious ones that make a lot of sense and that probably a lot of people would pick. I'm going to go with something that's a little bit more personal that I think is probably one of the best movies ever made, in my opinion, that I have never seen in a theater. I don't actually know what the theatrical run for this looked like in the US or how wide it even was at all, but I'm going to go with 2019's Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
Mm.
One of the most beautiful films I've ever seen. Claire Mathin's cinematography deserves to be hung in the Louvre. So I can't even imagine what this film would look like on a big screen. I've seen it multiple times, but on just a variety of small screens. So, oh my God, this would be this would be so amazing to see on the theater.
Are you're like video iPod, iPod Touch, up to
Yep.
iPad? Yeah, you're just kind of like working your way up. Hopefully, by the time you get to theatrical, it'll be there.
iPhone 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
iPhone 6. Yeah.
iPad Mini. Yep.
Danny, can you feel me trying to explode you with my mind? Like I'm being so serious right now. What
That's
is
weird.
your
I actually like just got a instant migraine.
No, right? Like a tension headache. What? Like there's so many movies. What is your problem? Genuinely.
Not my fault. I told you I loved this movie. We talked about this recently.
We did.
So I still have yet to see this movie. This is a huge blind spot for me. But you mentioned the 2010s having kind of this plethora of theatrical, and I agree. I think this is like the most theatrically inclined decade. I was just looking at the box office stats for kind of year over year, and between 2010, which starts out at 10.5 billion, 2019 grows to 11.3 billion, but they essentially steadily increase. A few anomalies here and there, but it is a growing theatrical industry throughout the entirety of the 2010s. And then of course COVID happens in 2020, and we see an $11.3 billion theatrical gross go down to $2.1 billion. Obviously, many things at play, but 2010s, like, movies were designed for theatrical. You know what I mean? They were not designed to be slopped up on a streamer on a random Friday in October. No shots fired at any particular streaming service like Netflix, but things have changed. Things have changed.
It feels like people are starting to wake up a little bit on that front, though. I will say that. Like, it does feel like people are kind of like, yeah, these aren't real movies at all.
Yeah. I do think the social sentiment is coming around on that kind of stuff, where there is that distinction between like, oh, this is a movie and not. And I actually think Sinners has been a big key sticking point in that conversation this year. And that's a whole different conversation for another time. Des, we are back to you for a pick. You can't have Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
Can't have the French lesbians on the beach. I can't have the sexual sickos that get off with cars. What else is there? You know what I mean? It's like,
those are the two genres, actually.
Yeah, the only two micro genres that exist.
I'm interested in. Damn. Danny, that's crazy. I thought we were friends. That's so mean. That's
It is kind of wild.
If only we traded draft picks.
Okay.
If only, you know what I mean?
Only one person had a problem with that.
Okay. I like, what do you want me to say? Like, just denounce the spinner? This is how things work. I'm not trying to delve into the, current state of American politics. I run a podcast with rules. Okay? Things matter here. Things have consequences in this space.
He said we need to have order, okay?
I said bang, bang on that gavel.
Bang, bang on the gavel beam. I'm thinking. Still
you're
thinking.
doing a lot of thinking. I'm kind of like
mean.
I'm just kind of tearing through all of my talking points here, so I'm running out of vamping for other people.
No, that's so real. Oh, I put that in the wrong part. Oh, okay. I do have that left. Okay. I'm gonna go wild card.
Oh.
And I'm going to go with a movie that's pretty gay. It's pretty gay, and it has Jimmy Stew, my man. I'm gonna go with Alfred Hitchcock's Rope.
Ooh.
I was wondering. I was like, as soon as you said that, I was like, she's going Hitchcock, but which one?
Yeah, I knew it was going Hitchcock. Wow, that's a great pick. That's a really, really good pick.
Yeah, I remember seeing the movie for the first time with my film club, so I had to have been within like the last 4 years. But I was just enamored. I was like, oh my God,
Mhm.
like this is real cinema. This is real blocking
Mhm.
king over here. He knows what he's doing. Jimmy Stu, man of a lifetime. I was so upset to find out that he's dead. I genuinely was shocked when I found out. I was like, there's no way Jimmy Stu has left
Wow.
me on this plane.
Mhm.
But he's gone, if you can imagine.
I
Man
just
from the
20
1940s.
this is insane
28
work.
years ago.
You're just like, how
he
come
served in
Hitchcock's not
World War
pumping him
II.
out in the 2020s? You know,
Yeah, I'm like,
where's
I don't
where's our guy?
no,
The
not even
Venn
Hitchcock, but
diagram
Jimmy
of your
Stu.
lives was like 1 year.
And that, I mean, I just feel like it should have been way longer than that. He was so
He
young.
was on the beaches of Normandy.
He was so young and he had so much life left to live.
He was going into the job market during the
Uh-huh.
Great Depression.
Damn.
Do you know how time works, Des? I'm a little concerned. I'm a little worried.
No.
Okay, that's fair. Everything checks out.
Oh my God. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Rope 1948
Okay,
as my wild card.
it's a good wild card.
Thank
I like
you.
that two wild cards already off the board, even though we're not even at the last round. I think that's pretty neat. Okay, Gooch, you have a pick.
I'm gonna go to the 2010s. Dip into one of those classic. You guys have been talking about how there's just so many good blockbusters in the 2010s, so many obvious choices, and that is why I'm going with The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, a movie that
Oh, what a pick!
just
Wow.
a vibey ass movie that is never gonna get a re-release.
Mhm.
Never gonna get a re-release, but God should it. Just filled with color, just the soundtrack, unbelievable. Ben Stiller does a great job in front of and behind the camera. Sean Penn shows up at the end, and he's just Sean Penn.
True.
Kristen Wiig, lovely. Yeah, no, it's trash, but it's like the trash that I love. Like it's very schlocky. I love that movie.
You know,
Yeah.
Mr. Gooch, for the people, definitely not me, who have never seen that movie, what is it about?
So he works at a magazine and he has a lot of daydreams, and he is very timid and keeps to himself, and he lives out all these daydreams in his head until finally one day he decides to take the plunge and go out and live out these dreams. And he goes on a sort of odyssey culminating in, well, I don't want to spoil the ending, but really finding himself.
Mhm.
Yeah. And he gets on a longboard for long stretches. He
does.
skateboards. It's very cool.
Okay.
Great Adam Scott performance in this movie as well.
Yeah.
Really, really good stuff.
Is this like a midlife crisis type of deal?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think it's more than that. I think I share the same affinity to this film where it's just like, this is my guilty pleasure movie and I just love it wholeheartedly. This is the least likely movie maybe on the planet to see a theatrical re-release, but that's the point of this draft, you know.
Exactly.
Speak it. It's your wish list. Speak it into existence.
Once our generation experiences our own midlife crises, I feel like we can push for a re-release of this movie.
Yeah, we're gonna start this.
People
programming.
need Walter Mitty. They need him
now more than ever. Yeah.
Who left the fridge on?
Crazy. Yeah, his directorial filmography is really interesting. This movie, Zoolander, The Cable Guy, Tropic Thunder, and Reality Bites.
No, he's a good director.
Really different movies, but he's a good director. He's great in Reality Bites, by the way. Like the characters he makes for himself in his movies are really funny. Wow, really good pick. That's pretty cool. Okay. You kept with your S theme, which I appreciate. I think is really cool.
It's impressive.
Okay, so I gotta go 1980s, a wild card, or 2020s. I'm getting a little worried on the 2020s front, so I'm gonna push that, I think, down the road, which means I'm going to be going for wild card and 1980s. Now, The Abyss was kind of high on my list for 1980s. This recently got a re-release, a 4K re-release, so I'm not going to be picking that. The Shining, of course, qualifies in this category as well, coming out in December. Not going to be picking that either. Do I go with what I think is a crowd pleaser, or do I go with something that I personally would want to see in a theater the most. What do you guys think?
I've been going
Whatever
with the
your heart
latter.
desires.
Yeah,
Okay, so we're going with heart picks here.
absolutely.
Okay.
What,
I'm
For
gonna
what
your
else
team.
if not for this draft? Where
Yeah.
you can choose literally anything.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to follow that mode of thinking here, and I am going to hope that one day we get to hear a really good scream on the big screen. I'm going to go with 1981's Blowout, directed by Brian De Palma.
Ooh.
This
Um,
was in my long list.
This movie fucking rocks, and I think it would make for a phenomenal theatrical re-release, specifically for the sound design. I mean, this is a movie purely built around sound design. Obviously, he overhears a crime being committed that spurns him to kind of investigate what is happening. This is what he does. This is the thing that he cares about the most. And you know, the crux of this movie falls within that line of dialogue. It's a great scream. It's a really, really good scream. So I think it'd be cool. Every 4th of July, you know, the still comes around of her in front of the fireworks, in front of the flag. Iconic, kind of in every form and fashion for a theatrical release.
Is that your favorite De Palma? In De Palma your hand?
That's a good question. I've actually never ranked De Palma movies before. I've never thought about it. I've actually haven't seen a whole lot of them, to be honest.
Okay.
Ooh.
So this probably is my favorite De Palma. I've actually only ever seen Mission Impossible and Phantom Thread. Phantom of the Paradise.
That's about to say.
Could you imagine De Palma directing Phantom Thread? Wow. Those are the only other two movies that I've seen directed by him.
I love Phantom of the Paradise.
It is really cool. That would make for a cool pick in this draft.
I'm like in love with the front desk woman who has like a half of a line. You like don't know her. She's not in anything else. I have literally screen caps of her on my phone because I'm just like, I've never see you anywhere else, and I'm obsessed with you. Yeah, no, fantastic.
I like
movie.
that. I love that for you.
Thank you. Thanks.
You need to watch Carlito's Way. Very good.
That's
Al
what I hear.
Pacino plays a Puerto Rican. It's awesome.
Sold. That's all I need to know. That's it.
I know he rocks the fuck out of it too.
Isn't there a pretty iconic subway scene in Carlito's Way?
Oh yeah, I legit do love that movie.
Okay.
Sean Penn's good in it.
I need to watch it. Sean Penn.
You know what my favorite Al Pacino movie is? Jack and Jill, when he does the Dunkachino commercial.
It's not now anymore. It's Dunk.
What's my name? Dunkachino. Oh my shit is incredible. Incredible work.
So your favorite Al Pacino film is Jack and Jill, and you had to validate that he was in Heat earlier in this episode. Okay. Things are aligning. Okay, so I have 2020s and I have Wild Card. Of course, Wild Card, you know, can be anything. I'm going to go with Wild Card. I only have one movie on my short list. It's kind of basic, but it is 1,000,000% a movie that I would be there for every screening every day if it ran for a short period of time. I've never gotten the chance to see this on the big screen. I hope one day that I do, and I'm going to be taking Singing in the Rain in Wild Card.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were going to say.
Okay. Sorry to disappoint.
No,
probably
it's
the
okay.
best / most important movie that's ever been made. I think it's up there. I would just kill to see this on the big screen. I don't know. Nothing more to say about that.
That's a great
No,
pick.
I hear you. I just found out what that movie's about recently.
What is it about, Des? Can you tell me?
It's about when they go to the talkies and they're God, see, the thing is, I do conflate it a little bit. I do mix it up with what's The Hills? The Hills Are Alive with The Sound of Music. The Sound of Music.
Sound of Music, yeah.
And the I'm like I started thinking, I'm like,
the way your brain works is awesome. I just want to put that out
Thank
there.
you.
It's incredible
That
stuff.
was
we're
like
putting out
the
here.
greatest part of having a conversational podcast with Des is that thought process just comes
Live.
out. It just spills out. It's
We get to
live.
see the
Like,
gears
we
in
just
action.
watch it happen.
Crazy.
I did at one point think that the plot, I mix up the plots of National Treasure and the Da Vinci Code. I thought that they were
That's-
kind of like the same thing.
That's actually fair. I think that's totally okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the best that Gene Kelly has ever looked in a moving picture as well. I'd argue for Singing in the Rain. Okay. On to Gooch.
Oh shit. I think I'm gonna have to ditch this bit because I cannot
You're
find any-
abandoning the S's now? Oh my god.
I legit cannot find for the 2020 something
You're
that's
trying.
worth it. And so I'm gonna dip into the 80s. I'm gonna go
okay.
Michael Mann, our favorite director, right, Des? Right?
Mhm.
We love Michael Mann.
I
we,
love Collateral.
We love Michael
please.
Mann.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
There we go.
goated. Okay, Des.
Not too
We
much.
see you.
I love Collateral.
Okay. This is gonna be Thief, starring James Caan, with the Tangerine Dream soundtrack. I gotta hear that with the big speakers. I gotta hear that, and it just is a gorgeous movie. It really is.
Great
And
choice.
James Caan just looks so fucking cool. He's so manly. I wish he was my dad. Like, he's so cool.
It
real.
was literally between Blowout and Thief for me, and I went with Blowout.
Blowout was also on my short list.
Unreal.
But
Yeah.
I have seen that in a theater, which I forgot to bring up. That
Ooh,
that
okay.
is, you're not wrong on the sound design. It
Sure.
plays completely differently in a theater.
Yeah.
Des, I'm so sorry to inform you. I know you're going to take this really difficultly, but James Caan has left us too.
Do you guys want to inform me if anyone else has passed away?
Just absolute breaking news here on the Movie
Breaking
Draft
news.
podcast. James Caan has passed away. I'm so sorry to
Re-
say.
The people trying to timestamp this episode are like,
They have no clue when this thing is recorded. No
Was
idea when this
2003
happened.
or this year.
Right.
Oh my god.
Oh
R.I.P.
man. Sick.
Yeah.
I mean, really sick pick, Gooch. Honestly, I agree. I think the epitome of cool when you think about cool dudes in movies is James Caan in Thief. The fact that there's a directorial debut is just absolutely dumb, in my
I
opinion.
actually didn't know that.
Yeah,
That
I
was
believe
his
it's
first movie.
I believe it's Michael Mann's directorial debut.
Jesus.
Yeah. Let me double check. Let me validate. I don't want to be wrong on very important information. Michael Mann's still with us though. Really,
I was
really,
just
he's
gonna say,
here.
he's
He's
still
making
alive.
movies. Yeah. Yeah. He makes a couple short films before this, but Thief is his official directorial theatrical debut. Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen that Heat short film? Like the Heat short film that he did before Heat?
No.
It's like just no-name actors doing the diner scene. It's interesting.
That's awesome.
It's like, wow, this plays completely differently when you don't have Robert De Niro and Al Pacino.
Yeah, I can only imagine. All right. Okay, Thief is off the board. Really good pick. Des, we're on to you.
Fuck, I should have been thinking. You know what?
You're grieving. It's okay. I totally understand. Take all the time you need.
I'm just learning so much new information in this podcast recording.
it's got to be overstimulating. How can you
Like,
expect to
no,
Yeah.
and this
Your
is why
brain.
I need to bring my earplugs with me everywhere because I'm just like overwhelmed with like information all the time. Guys, there's so many movies in these two decades that I would just really love to see in a theater.
Yeah.
What a bummer. Okay. For the 2000s, I'm going to go with
You sound really sure. You really made up your mind
No,
quickly.
I'm not. I have to choose between two movies with women. That's so hard for me.
Yeah, I can't help you there. You're on your own.
No, I know, right? Okay. What do you guys think? I'm between I'm
Ask
gonna
me
throw
three
this out
men about the
because
two women movies.
Too good. Yeah.
yeah, mind you, like opinion grain of salt, but Mulholland Drive or Dreamgirls.
Ooh.
Mulholland Drive was on my very, very short list. I'll give you that input. I also have a little bit of a history with Mulholland Drive. I had tickets to see this movie in 35 millimeter for the first time. I had never seen Mulholland Drive before, and I was lucky enough to wait long enough to see it on a special format at my rep theater. And not 3 hours before my screening, my daughter was swinging and had a bungee cord rip through her calf, and I had to rush her to the hospital, and we were in the hospital all night, and I fucking missed Mulholland Drive. So just take that for what it's worth.
That's not the punchline that I was expecting from that.
Your daughter's
She's
just
okay, guys.
not
She's
allowed
okay.
on swings anymore, though.
You're just
Honestly, a hard no on
you're
swings
just
and bungee
lording
cords.
that over her head for the rest of her
Bro,
life.
if I never get the chance to see
Crazy.
Mulholland Drive on 35 millimeter again, she will hear about this when she is of age. Yeah.
Screaming. But
I
guys,
feel
I
like-
mean, he's
Dreamgirls.
already called Ben out for blocking
This
him from
is a very
screening.
cathartic podcast for me.
Yeah.
I'm letting go of a lot of traumas.
Okay.
My case for
Elsa?
Mulholland Drive would be experiencing a Lynch movie with a crowd is
Yeah.
a very fun.
Mm.
It's a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
Yeah. I really wanted to get Lynch in mine some way, somehow.
So I'm gonna go with Dreamgirls. Yeah.
Fuck me.
Yeah, cool. Fuck me, right?
Yeah,
Well,
for
okay.
sure. Take the opinions of this panel and absolutely go the opposite way because I think that actually is the right decision.
See, well, the thing is while I do love lesbianism, I do really love Motown and I love singing and I love Dreamgirls. And that is such a staple, like culture wise, that, in what was that, 2006, I wouldn't have been able to like really fully soak in as a 10/11-year-old. So to be able to go back and see that in a theater and getting to sing along in their very big songs that are very meaningful to the culture and just like any honestly also karaoke moment, I think would be really, really cool to see.
It's a really cool pick.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Thanks.
Sorry. You didn't trust me. So
No,
what are you going to do?
There were
you
no
didn't give
wrong
me
answers.
fourth place. So
There are no wrong answers. That's true.
yeah,
Danny, you've got 2 picks. You're going to be the first person to finish your team.
I am indeed. I'm ready. I've got
Okay.
both ready to go.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
How about that, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. So my wild card here doesn't matter what order I say these in, but wild card, I'm gonna go all the way back to 1954, a film that I will regret for the rest of my life watching for the first time on my phone, and therefore will look for the rest of my life for a rep screening of this. It is one of cinema's founding fathers, Akira Kurosawa's Seven Samurai.
Nice.
Great pick.
Truly just one of the best movies ever made. Just foundational to film history, the legacy and lineage of movies that can be drawn back to some form of storytelling that was accomplished by Kurosawa is mind-boggling. And this is his magnum opus, at least from what I've seen, which is a good chunk of his filmography. So yeah, I'm gonna go Seven Samurai, a film that I, for unfortunate circumstances, had to watch on my phone to prepare for a conversation on it.
That's crazy.
And yeah, it was amazing, but also awful just because it was like sunny out and it was glare on my, like, terrible, awful.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It's like 2.5
Gross.
hours long
Yeah,
know.
that's crazy work you're putting in
know.
there.
on the phone.
Wow.
Yeah.
The only Kurosawa movie I've ever seen is Rashomon. This is a huge blind spot in my filmography watching. So I appreciate the advice. Do not watch Seven Samurai on my iPhone. I'll take that to heart.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think anyone would disagree with that sentiment.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty universal statement.
Nice.
All right.
All right.
And then I'm going to finish out my list. I've got the 2020s to do. Selfishly, I'm going to choose something that I have experienced in theater, probably top 3 all-time theatrical experiences. And it was the re-release run of Rise, Roar, Revolt, RRR.
Oh,
It's a freaking awesome pick.
it wasn't on my list, but God, what a good fucking
Mhm.
pick. Oh,
Yeah, that's
Oh my
fire.
God.
That's a
So-
sick pick. My rep theater does a one screening every single month. They've done it ever since the movie has come out.
Philly did that for a while. They have given up on it, but they were doing a once a month for a while, and I went to a couple of them, and they were billed as rowdy screenings, and people would chant, scream, like just roar and get into it. And this is one of those rare, maybe rare, but like I guess uncommon instances where the audience interaction is just part of the experience.
Mm.
And I think that's a unique quality of RRR that makes it belong on this list. If you have never seen it in a theater, you just simply have to find a way to watch it in that environment because it's one of a kind.
That's sick. It's an awesome
So
pick.
good.
I mean,
remember I watched it on like a Wednesday, I watched it on like a Wednesday, and then Friday night was going out with friends, and I was like, "Hey guys, you guys want to see this movie really quick? We'll just throw it on in the background." We ended up just staying in for like 3 hours, just cranking that, watching that movie, just cranking through
Dope.
Miller Lights. I'll never forget that. Like, we had like 10 guys in like a little living room, just 5 of them sitting on the floor. One of my favorite movie watching experiences ever.
That's sick. Yeah. I think that's really the power of that movie. I think is like it is so magnetic that whenever you tune in, you kind of feel like you need to watch the rest of it because of just the pure power of that film and the visual style, of course, and the score and everything that goes around with that. My kids cannot sit for a 3-hour film. They're 7 and 5, but there was a good chunk of time when this was running through its Academy Award cycle where we were watching the music video for Not To 8 times in a row on YouTube. My kids were obsessed with that song, and it's the power of RRR. That's a really cool pick.
Can you do the dance, Ethan?
Maybe not. I don't know. Not going to reveal that information. That's for the Patreon. No, I could never try. I can't even sing it. You know, I don't even know. Can't do it. I'm not that talented. Okay. So you've completed your team, Danny. Now we're back to Des to complete her team.
And now I'm between 3 movies. God, the 2010s were just really so awesome to me.
Mm-hmm.
There's a movie that I saw a million times in theaters and out. There's a movie that I saw in theaters already, but hell, why not again? And then a movie that I never saw in theaters.
Well,
Crazy. Yeah, so I'm going to go with the one that I saw a million times because I want to see it 1,000,001 more times. Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Awesome.
That's fun. That's really fun.
Cool.
I fucking love that movie so much. Scott Pilgrim, notorious piece of shit. God, I love all of the action in the movie. I love everything about it. I love the entire cast. It is a movie that means a lot to me.
Yeah. I really want to rewatch this movie. It's been so long since I've seen it, and I've changed a lot as a person and like a movie watcher since I watched this movie. But it's sick. It's a really, really cool movie. Back when Chris Evans did cool stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Tough.
Man, rest in peace.
He's still alive, Des. He's here with us. His movie career, I don't know.
Is in the fucking toilet.
I mean, he had a pretty good summer.
He had a pretty good
say.
summer. I stand
Did
by
he?
Materialists.
Oh, let's not.
Yeah, let's not start
not do
that discourse
again.
again. I thought he was
Yeah.
quite good in that. He's not very good in Honey Don't. That's a different
I
conversation.
mean, he's barely in it.
Yeah.
Is anyone?
Yeah, is anybody? That's a real question. Cool pick. This is awesome. I think Scott Pilgrim vs. World kind of encapsulates a lot of that theatrical idea. Really good music, really cool visuals, a really entertaining movie. I think it's got like all the qualities of what you want to see in a theatrical release. Brie Larson just, God, okay,
Killing it.
just killing it on all fronts.
That,
Mary
that
Elizabeth
cast is
Winstead.
absurd. No, that cast is
that
absurd.
Cast is crazy.
Married to Ewan.
Kieran
McGregor.
Culkin.
Kieran
Yeah.
Culkin, I know.
Yeah.
Anna Kendrick, Aubrey Plaza. Like, it's out of control.
Damn.
Yeah,
Who
I
else?
listened to Brie Larson's Black Sheep version on Spotify quite
Yeah.
often.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
That was-
Who was
that was
listening to
huge.
Metric's original version, to be honest with you?
I was for the longest time. It wasn't on the Brie Larson version.
Mm.
Wasn't on Spotify. That was huge when they dropped that.
When it
It's
added,
huge.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just have to open up YouTube. It was embarrassing. Now I gotta. Now I
Like
just
I'm
looks like I'm
yeah.
watching Brie Larson.
Such a loser. He's doing it again, guys? What the hell?
It's it's like an endlessly quotable movie for me. Like the vegan police scene is something
Yeah,
that
really
lives in
good.
my brain. They're
really,
like,
really funny.
gelato isn't vegan, it's milk and eggs, bitch. Oh my god, you couldn't tell me shit when I first heard that. That was funny as fuck. And it's still as funny as fuck. That movie has some timeless humor in it.
Yeah. That's really good. Okay, so you've completed your team. Gooch, you got to
Mhm.
pick, and then I'll cap us off here.
Wow, it's actually hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this was always going to be my 2020s pick unless one of you all took it, but gotta go. Avatar, Way of the Water, put me back in the water with my good friend
Nice.
Payukan. I love that movie, and it's gonna get re-released again and again
Yeah.
and again, and I will be there every single time. Probably on a healthy dose of movie enhancers and enjoying the hell out of that movie. Yeah, no, that's just like that middle act where you're just like hanging out in the ocean is just a magical experience that I don't know if anyone other than James Cameron can do that. Like, full stop. I don't know if we're ever gonna have the technology to get to that point outside of in James Cameron's hands.
Is this
It's a
the
really-
second movie?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a really cool legacy feature film that is a legacy sequel that's really important for theatrical re-releases. So I like that pick. This episode will drop on December 16th. Not 3 days later, the new Avatar installment, Fire and Ash, will come out. Will that help in the voting? Probably.
It's hard to say that's not an SEO pick.
Yeah, that's huge timestamp pick right there.
A what pick?
Huge SEO. Ethan's been known to do SEO picks.
Yeah, I cave hard for the SEO picks.
Whatever's
Anybody wanna
buzzy gets them votes.
elaborate
It's
on what the acronym could
Search
possibly
engine optimization.
there it is.
Avatar, bam, SEO, you know? All the Avatar bros out there. I am really, really hyped to rewatch Way of Water leading into Fire and Ash. I missed the re-release, unfortunately, that they
did
just
too,
recently
yeah.
did about a month ago. Obviously, like you said, Gooch, they're going to re-release this movie, every year, every December, whatever they're going to do. The market is there for these Avatar movies, and they'll keep doing this as more Avatar movies get released. I haven't visited it or revisited it since I saw it in theaters. I remember in theaters that final act just being like, fuck, like this is why I go to the movies, and it really does have that special theatrical power.
I was heavily considering doing a James Cameron only draft. Like he is the
Fair.
king of the big screen.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason for it. Like he just can make a movie feel so fucking big. Oh, I love that psycho.
It's a really
I
that's
can't
a good
wait to watch
sicko
the movie
pick
for
too.
the first time.
Maybe we should do an Avatar characters draft. That's what we should be doing.
Who's
picking-
are you,
who's picking
are you
Spider?
telling me that I'm not
Spider
going
first
to,
round draft pick.
Spider number one
I'm
pick
not
overall.
going to be on the episode because I've never seen
No,
it.
you're actually going to be on the episode, but you can't watch any of the movies beforehand. I'll just give you a Wikipedia page of character names, no descriptions, no pictures, only names, and you have to draft off of their names.
It would make you sick to your stomach if I won that.
You probably would. That's the problem. You'd probably be like, this person sounds cool,
Yeah.
Neytiri, hell yeah. Yeah, she's
Hell
the
yeah.
best.
She's the coolest. Okay. All of you have finished your team. That leads me to my final pick here. And then we can wrap up the theatrical re-release wishlist draft. I'm going to run through what my options are here. I don't know what I'm going to go with yet, but this is what my short list is comprised of right now. and hopefully reading them aloud will inspire me to land on one of them. And I know I'm kind of taking the honorable mentions gas here, but that's okay. Okay, here's what I've got on my short list. F1, The Batman, Jackass Forever, Nightmare Alley, Tick, Tick, Boom, House of Gucci, Nope, The Northman, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Babylon, The Killer, Oppenheimer, and Top Gun Maverick. This is my short list. That's my yes, my very short list, Danny.
Did you
Out
not
of my
get to see
500
Jackass Forever
plus
in theaters?
I did. I'd love to see it again in theaters. That's the problem.
I did see it. I brought my underage sister to go see that. Forgot how much
Good.
they love a penis moment. Jesus
God.
Christ. I said,
Dick
oh my
Godzilla, you know, just the things we do.
God, crazy.
What are you guys thinking? Any of those sticking out to you that I should pick?
High key, can you say them one more time?
Are you serious?
One more
I
time.
remember 2 Max titles you said.
I heard F1.
This is good podcasting. Okay, F1, The Batman, which I believe recently saw a re-release within the last 12 months.
Okay.
Jackass Forever, we just talked about. Nightmare Alley, Guillermo del Toro, Academy Award nominated feature film. Tick, Tick, Boom, a Netflix original movie that never, quote unquote, saw a theatrical release. This is, a la the kind of Netflix Academy Award cycle of everything here that we talked about with Tragedy of Macbeth. House of Gucci, probably not a great theatrical movie. I saw it in theaters. I had a great time. Nope. Would love to experience that again on IMAX. The Northman, arguably a 5-star masterpiece. We have dissected this on the pod before. Love The Northman. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Big, loud, fast movie that is really fun theatrically. Babylon. I'm steering away from Babylon because I already have Singing in the Rain. So, you know, what do you?
And you have drafted both of
I
those
have
movies
in the past, right? Thank you for bringing this up.
like, in the same draft.
They're both talkies.
Oh, right, sure, yeah. They
Great,
yeah. Okay. We move forward. The Killer, which I was lucky enough to see in theaters on 35mm print, but again, a Netflix original movie. Not a lot of people saw it in theaters. Kind of bangs. Oppenheimer, I've seen it a billion times on a lot of different screens. And Top Gun Maverick, also, I've seen it a lot on a lot of different screens.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, it's so cool. Like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to pick what I really want.
Tick, Tick, Boom.
Nope.
You think so?
Me.
I love that movie.
We got to vote for Nope. We got to vote for Tick, Tick, Boom. Yeah. Nope is pretty sick. And I think actually Nope would help me differentiate my team slightly. Adds a little sci-fi, adds a little kind of prestige director, original content. I think it's pretty beneficial. I'll go with Nope. I like that.
Will probably never be actually. Yeah, no.
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know if they'd ever put that back in theaters.
I think so.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Sorry, that sounded incredibly rude. I did not mean it to be rude at all. I literally wanted to know.
That's crazy. What's crazy is I didn't even take it that way until you said something. So
yeah, that's a me problem. I saw Nope when it released, and to me, it was one of those movies. It's so big and it's saying so much. I didn't fully get it the first time I saw it. I was like, okay, pretty good. And then I rewatched Nope, and again, we've had this discourse, Danny, on the Ari Aster Eggers Jordan Peele collaborative draft we did, where I rewatched Nope and I was like, fuck, I wish I understood it like this when I saw it on the big screen because it's so special. That is a spectacle movie if there ever was one.
Yeah, I would not be mad if you chose Nope for that. Obviously, I love Nope. That was my number 2 selection on the collaborative. Top 25 horror movies of the 21st century.
Good shout, yeah.
Got a lot of flack for. Wasn't. It's crazy.
No, that's crazy. It deserves to be in the number 2 spot.
Absolutely.
But
I think Nope is cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Number 2 of the best horror movies of a century, but number 6 amongst 3 directors' filmographies that amount to 11 titles.
25 years of the century so far. Danny, we've had this conversation on my podcast, I think. So it's like
You're just bringing this from podcast to podcast. You're like, we got to relitigate
It's
over
just-
here.
I just
literally.
can't. I need it needs to be relitigated. Number 2 amongst 25 years of movies, and number 6 amongst 11.
I mean, listen,
I was on that
the Aster Eggers Peel collaborative draft will be relitigated when one of those filmmakers makes another movie. I believe Robert Eggers has a movie coming out next year. I think Jordan Peele's movie got pushed from 2026 to an indefinite time period.
Yeah.
And Ari Aster, nothing on the slate as of now, I don't think. So it looks like that is a conversation we'll be having late next year when Eggers comes out with a new movie. We'll have 12 films to litigate then, and we'll just do our best to put Eddington at number 1. You know, we'll see what we can do.
Over my dead body.
Hell yeah.
Oh, but the problem is none of you will be on the pod. It'll just be completely new people to up my chances of getting what I want on that show.
No, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
minimum you can't have Ben back on.
Yeah, no, that can't happen. No way, Jose. Not like he gets first dib at the calendar or anything like that. We've done it. We've completed the theatrical re-release wishlist draft here on the Movie Draft Podcast. Let's quickly read our teams. Any honorable mentions? Let's keep them short because there's literally a countless number of movies that we could choose from here. But I know we all have some short lists that we would kind of like to shout as things that would be cool to see. I'll start. In 2010s, I took Mission Impossible Fallout. In the 2000s, I took Speed Racer. In 1990s, I took Heat. In the 1980s, I took Blowout. In Wildcard, I chose Singin' in the Rain. And for 2020s, I chose Nope. What was your team, Gooch?
All right. In Wild Card, I took Star Wars, the original 1977 theatrical cut. The 90s, I took Speed. 2000s, I took Sunshine. 2010s, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. 1980s, Thief. And 2020s, Avatar, The Way of Water.
Des, what's your team looking like?
In the 80s, I have When Harry Met Sally. In the 90s, I have Eyes Wide Shut. In the 2020s, I have The Tragedy of Macbeth. For a wild card, I have Rope. For the aughts, I have Dreamgirls. And for the 2010s, I have Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
And your team, Danny?
For the 80s, I have Akira. For the 2000s, Wall-E. 1990s, Crash. 1996 specifically. It's an important note for that title. 2010s, Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Wildcard, Seven Samurai. In 2020s, RRR.
Danny, I think your team is the most like film centric. Like I think you have the widest kind of cinema scope. Pew 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 water guns. I thought that was a pretty good off the cuff pun. But I think all of our teams are pretty sweet or pretty good. Honorable mentions. Do we want to go? We want to go through any?
I just got it.
Yeah, cinema scope, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I love that you mentioned that you got it, even though we had moved on topics. I think that's really cool. Really, really good. Des, do you want to start us off with any honorable mentions?
Yes. I would like to mention Perfect Blue, AI artificial intelligence.
Oh yeah, you love to see it. Aliens, baby.
Yeah. Hairspray, both the John Waters and the musical version. Prisoners, Denis Villeneuve, The Nice Guys, and particular shout out to Rock Show, which is the Paul McCartney and Wings concert taping from the 80s. And it's so fucking fantastic. I would love to see that on the big screen.
Really good shouts. You made me think with your Nice Guys shout out. Do we have any like pure comedies? Like I feel like Scott Pilgrim versus the World is the closest we got to a pure comedy.
I don't love doing comedies in rep screenings because because people know the jokes and you always get one person in the crowd who's like fucking ready to like quote the line and you can hear them. And they do it and it's like across the board. It happens like almost every time I go and see a comedy.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
It's
Damn,
pretty
I
frustrating.
am that person.
Also, comedy does tend to live in its time more than other genres.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Really good point as well. Danny, honorable mentions. Anything.
Yeah, so many. Do the Right Thing. I almost took for the 80s Scream, the original. I almost took
Yeah,
for the 90s.
that was on my short list.
Let's see. The 2010s, I was really close to taking Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And then 2020s, Drive My Car, I think would have been a good one because
Ooh.
that's almost like a movie you have to watch in a theater. It just wouldn't really work because it's so patient and methodical. It wouldn't really work the same way at home. And then some wild cards. I I asked the question about re-release earlier and like about a movie that does get re-releases. Are
Yep.
you considering that? And I went to see this for the first time. I went to a shadow cast of Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I was like, is it cheating if I take that because of its ubiquity of re-releases?
It is re-released across the country every single month.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
like just all the
Right.
time. Yeah.
And then that's pretty much it. The only other thing I was really thinking about maybe was Godzilla and Godzilla -1, like Godzilla original Japanese film.
Ooh, that's cool. Yeah, really good shout on like the epic monster. I don't think we
Yeah.
really have one of those on here either. I mean, you have Jean Jacket with Nope, but I wouldn't really maybe classify that in the Godzilla stream of thinking. Gooch, do you have any honorable mentions you want to throw out?
Yeah, actually, -1 was on my short list for the 2020s.
Nice.
I also had the Kingdom of Heaven director's cut, which I saw during the 4K release this summer, and I think everyone should see that. I think the 4K is like hard to get right now, but if you can find it, it's worth it. It's like insane how different that movie is and how much better it actually is. Crazy. I also had The Abyss, which you brought up earlier. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I'm really hoping they do that before Spielberg's next UFO movie.
Yeah.
I would love to see that on the big screen. Kurosawa's Dreams from the 90s, which is like his swan song. It's like just visually one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Unbelievable. And then I saw this last year in Chicago. This movie's owned by a pharmaceutical company, so it's very hard to see. Like you can't own it. I think there's a stream on YouTube of it, but it's Elaine May's The Heartbreak Kid with Charles Grodin and what's her face? Beautiful. Struggling to remember. Anyways, just an unbelievable movie that I don't think enough people have seen, and I would love to see it get released again. But that's one of those ones where it's like these weird old things, like people just these movies disappear. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's super fascinating. You cannot buy a DVD. It's not streaming anywhere. You cannot buy a DVD of it on Amazon. They're selling VHS tapes of it, which is also unavailable. So like an impossible to find movie. Good shout for a theatrical re-release. Yeah, I mean, I had like a million shortlist things. I'll just list a few of them. 1980s, I had really high on my list was The Thing and Raging Bull. I think would be pretty good theatrically. 1990s, I had Magnolia, and that's just kind of a personal heart pick. I'm dying to see that on a big screen in some way. And The Fugitive. I thought about taking The Fugitive. And this is a movie I've seen countless times. I've never got the chance to see it on a big screen. I don't think the appetite is really there for people shelling out to go see The Fugitive on the big screen, but I would be there, and I think that would be really fun. That was 1990s. 2000s, I did have Step Brothers on my short card here. I've seen Napoleon Dynamite at a rep screening, which is really fun. The actor who plays Kip was actually there, and he did like signings and autographs afterward, and it was really special. And I do agree with you, Gooch, but things like that, I think, are, if you have the right crowd, are really fun, are really cool. And I feel like Step Brothers might aid in that. I did have Mamma Mia on my list, a musical.
Ooh,
really pretty musical would have been cool. 2010s. This was the hardest category for me. That's why I wanted to knock it out first with Fallout. But Inception, I feel like I wrote a piece recently for the Rolling Tape, kind of signifying why Inception is so important to Chris Nolan's filmography. And I remember distinctly seeing that in theaters when it came out. Big theatrical movie that I thought would have been a good pick. Mad Max Fury Road. I'm a little surprised nobody gave that a shout here either. Obviously a ton for the 2010s, and then 2020s. I ran through everything. I was really close to picking Rogue One as well in my 2010s. Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. But I don't want to get caught up in the Star Wars controversies going on right now at this moment in time. So, with all of that said, thank you guys so much for drafting with me, for completing this exercise that I think was pretty successful. Do you guys leaning one way or another for who's going to win? Anybody sticking out? No.
I feel like it's going to be you. I mean, you have heat, which is just that's a win. That's a win in these drafts.
That's what I think. You know, I did draft it after all.
People fucking love heat.
Way of Water is a big. I think
Way of Water is a huge get.
Yeah, on top of Star Wars, like you kind of
it's too basic.
hit the Pentagon with
basic. That's why I did put Walter Mitty on the
The
board.
second tower with that one. If I'm looking at the graphic and I see Eyes Wide Shut, it's kind of a vote for me. I got to be honest with you guys. So. I don't know. Anything's possible. Again, massive thank you to all of you, Des, Gooch, Danny, for joining the draft. Des, if people want to find more of you, where can they find you at?
Yes, I am on Letterboxd, Instagram, and Twitter at Movies with Des. It's Des with an S. And I also have a podcast called What's On Tonight, where I talk about movies, sometimes by myself and then sometimes with friends. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. Sounds like fun. Danny, if people want to find more of you, where can they find you at?
You can find me personally at DTJ Cinema on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And you can hear me hosting daily shows over at The Rolling Tape, where we cover all things film and entertainment.
And Gooch, if people want to find more of you, where can they find you at?
Bob Goochman on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Letterboxd. And then you can hear me host on Project Big Screen, which just launched about a month ago. And that is podcast feeds and YouTube.
Yeah, check it out. You can probably find Gooch at Halloween parties, hunting down other Bobs as well. Again, just great timestamp to this evergreen episode of podcasting here. Big thank you to Ben and Sophie for creating this podcast with me and never joining for a draft. Be sure to listen and subscribe to the Movie Draft Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. We are also now on YouTube with video. Be sure to go subscribe to us over there. New episodes will be released weekly on Tuesdays. We'll see you then.